Greetings, blessings, blessings, blessings. This is Doc, aka the Gunatic Fringe, aka Kenny Goomega, aka Toru Yaino, aka Teddy Longanisa, aka the Dim Sum Don, aka Magandang Umaga, aka Jacob Puto. You know what I mean? AKA the good Bob boy. Yeah, 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 yeah. AKA the Roman empanada. Acknowledge me. AKA the vegan killer Randy Otap. AKA Big Match John Sinagang. AKA the Flanimal Bautista. I'll walk around the fire pit of lechon, aka Filipino Heat, aka Yamcha real smooth now, dun, 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 aka Cherokee D Aswang, aka Fresh Manny, we smoking that pack, aka your host. And you know how we do here. I love Houston. Chinky, why your eyes so chinky? We got here a man of the people, a man who goes out there to the courthouse and handles business. You know, a little bit of Harvey Birdman, a little bit of uh, Mike Jones, who? A little bit of what I call Houstonian excellence. We got ourselves the white Paul Wall himself, Brent&Roses. How you doing, man?
I'm doing so fucking well, Doc. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Um, you're the first person I give an introduction like that to, so
Okay,
I hope that was all right.
that was
Um,
perfect.
yeah, man.
I mean, 75% of it was you going. I was like looking at my watch. I'm like, he's been going for like 45 seconds about his own nicknames, which is intimidating, but very good.
Yeah, yeah, dude. So that just takes so much practice. I remember my first couple of shows, I was just saying, "This is Doc, aka Ron." A Yeah, and I'm the host, and like, I'm so timid, and now like God, whoever knows how much numbers that I've recorded since then, it's like it's coming out so easy.
You got it done naturally now, yeah.
Yeah, and it's showmanship. As a Filipino
Absolutely.
man, I have to have
Hmm.
some showmanship because if I'm gonna go out to karaoke, you can't go out to karaoke and just be like, uh, you know, I'm gonna sing this song and this is the song. No, you gotta
No,
like put your whole ass into. You gotta put your whole soul
absolutely.
into it.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and like you, man, I gotta tell you, like I've heard a few of like our in the Discord I was previously in. You had some of the best live stream of consciousness on camera,
Uh-huh.
and like I just sat there and just listened and just absorbed the wisdom, and I was like, man, Freddie and Brent are like going in, and it's like this is the last podcast on the left if they had balls, and I'm just like. Like, cause like sometimes I listen to that like a little bit, like, and then I like,
Yeah.
man, I'd rather listen to Chapo Trap House or something like that. But like, you guys like blew them out the water, and I'm like, yeah, this is exactly the kind of energy we need on the left wing side of things. And I'm gonna be 100. I'm I do not identify as conservative. I'm liberal as fuck because I have to
Hmm.
be, and
Yeah.
because I want to be, because fuck human rights for everyone. Free Palestine.
Hell yeah, free Palestine.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Come at me. I don't know if you're gonna come at me, but I believe this. I believe like everyone has a right to how they want to live, and it should be done the right way. And we need less assholes in the world, so let's keep it serious. Let's keep it like that.
Yeah, well stated, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. This man I'm talking to practices law, and he is one of the he chose to sat with my dumbass, and we talk. And let me tell you, this guy is one of the best orators. I'm sure his girlfriend can back me up on him being a cunning linguist. And like it's I'm sure he leaves everyone satisfied. He left me satisfied.
Always
Always, you know, he finishes the story.
silver tongued
Oh yeah.
in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously. That's what he does.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna start this off because I've been getting, I think like it's interesting. So, how did you get into wrestling, man?
Uh, the honest question, like my wrestling fandom is basically broken into like three very distinct kind of periods of time.
Yeah.
Like one of my earliest memories is being very, very sad that Hulk Hogan got beat by the Ultimate Warrior. I don't remember how it happened. I think I was a young Hulkamaniac.
As we
When
all
I was
were.
like 4 or 5, you know,
Yeah.
just you know, and I remember being at a friend's house, although I can't remember whose house it was,
Swerve's
and I
house.
had like a Hulk Hogan wrestle buddy,
Yeah.
and he had an Ultimate Warrior wrestle buddy. And
Oh.
my only memory is just fucking breaking down in tears when the Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan.
Oh man.
Um, so that was kind of the first bit. After that, I think I was like, fuck this, he lost. I don't care. I don't like this guy with the tassels or whatever.
Yeah.
Got back into it in the Attitude Era. I'm an older well, I mean, there's lots of older wrestling fans, but you know, I'm 40, so
Yeah.
Attitude Era hit right in my, you know, middle school years, which I think is like very prime wrestling fan potential
Hell yeah.
time in one's life. I was always a WCW guy at that point. Like, other than my early like childhood fandom, I
Yeah.
definitely liked WCW more. I remember I went to Nitro, a really shitty, like notoriously shitty Nitro in the
Lucky though,
Alamo
man.
Dome in San Antonio. Yeah, with my buddy Jason. And was into that till about the finger poke of doom. And then I was like, this sucks shit. Didn't
Yo.
like the WWF, never got into it that much.
Mm.
Tried to kind of like, once they bought WCW, I kind of gave it a shot, but I'm like, this just ain't my scene. Fell off for then, like for another I was like 13 then, for about, you know, 10 to like almost 20 years, I guess.
Oh.
I remember I got back into wrestling. Actually, I can tell you why. I was listening. I had gotten into MMA. Like I was
Yeah.
a big MMA fan. I was
Hell
doing
yeah.
BJJ lessons. Listened to Sure Dog, Beat Down After the Bells and whatnot.
The Sure Dog
And
Radio Network.
the Sure Dog Radio Network, exactly. And you know, TJ DeSantis and Jack Encarnacio, they'd make a lot of like wrestling references, and Jordan Breed
Yeah.
as well. Like they would always kind of make references to this stuff, and I'm like, damn. And Jack made his show The Laps Fan, and I was like, I like Jack. I want to hear what this is. And so I kind of jumped in to the 30-week 30 WrestleMania journey,
Yeah.
and kind of was like, damn, man, it's been so long since I've watched wrestling. I wonder what's going on. So I watched the mainstream WWE at that point, and it was still not for me, but I got very into NXT. And so
Yeah.
this is like the early black and, well, not, I was like post Sami Zayn. I think the first one I watched might have been the takeover where Zayn wrestled Nakamura, maybe a little bit before that.
That's a good one, man. That's
It's
a good
so
one to get
good.
into.
And
Yeah.
so like I was immediately like, I miss this, like this feeling. And it was just like, you know, I didn't know like it was basically like an indie super show because I had not followed the product since basically, you know, the end of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And I went to a live show here in Houston at the it's called the Revention Music Center. It's a place downtown. It's like a little, you know, little venue, a little music venue that they had an NXT house show at, and it was Finn Balor was the champ. It was kind of getting near the end of his run. The Revival and DIY were feuding, and it's actually that match People give a lot of shit to FTR nowadays. Some people that
And
I
DIY.
mostly other align with. And DIY, yeah. But I remember watching that match live. I took my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, "Do you want to go to a wrestling show? Because I want to go to one." And she's like, "Sure, why not?" But she just thought Finn Balor was really hot and wanted to fuck him. So she's like, "I'll go." And I'm like, "Okay." So we have front row seats at this this NXT house show, and I just remember that the Revival and DIY had a match, which I'm guessing is like they were practicing their takeover match.
Yeah.
I like that feeling. I was just like, it was so good. There were so many great near falls, and I was like, this is the best fucking feeling in the world, man. I can't believe I ever stopped watching this shit. And from then on, I've been on the ride. So that's been about, however many 10 fucking 15 years, whatever it's been.
Yeah. I always say this for everybody that's hashtag lapsed is when you're a fan, if you were a fan during a certain time, you're always a wrestling fan, especially when someone brings up that time. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure if somebody brought up, oh yo, I just like went back and watched Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, or watched like
Hell yeah.
Liger versus Rey Mysterio, or like fucking Booker
Ray and
T versus
Psychosis,
Benoit, Ray Psychosis. I
Yeah.
saw like DDP hit like this dope ass diamond cutter on as a GIF. I'm sure you would have been like, oh, because I always had this thing like when you're a wrestling fan, you're always a wrestling fan. You get why people are wrestling fans, because I've talked to like so many people that dropped off on it. And that's the kind of lesson I learned from like Jack and JP. Shout outs to Jack and JP. Oh, such sweet guys. I mean, they're assholes, go to their Patreon, patreon.com/thelapsefan. Purchase their mother of all tiers and give them all the money, because you deserve to pay them.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
And like, I just don't like ever disregard people who are lapsed fans, because like, as you know, like in conversations, you always have icebreakers, right? And like a part of icebreakers is just like you say something, and like when someone grabs onto you, say like, oh yeah, you're wearing you're wearing like a Lakers or a Stars hockey sweater, and they'll be like, oh, you like, this is what you like, and then like that's your opening for the conversation. Like, cause like I wear wrestling shirts out there, not the kind of wrestling shirts that you think. They're actually cool wrestling shirts. I want people to know that. Cool for me. I like graphic shirts, but because I'm also a 40-year-old man, stuck in the mindset of that I'm still like 16. So, but like,
I'm stuck at 25 personally. That's where I'm personally stuck.
I should have.
Those are my glory years.
When I think about myself at 25, I think I was like 318 pounds.
Wow.
And then I started jujitsu.
I say wow, like I'm like whatever. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
No, look, because I was like 318 pounds, like, and I was like huge, and I hated life. But it was like when I started jujitsu, because you told me you did jujitsu, my friend. And
yes. Pleasure. I have a DVD of Babu teaching me how to do some. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Like doing the sport, I started at Josh Barnett's school. I know.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. That's because like I'm a mark.
Yeah, right. Because you're a fucking disgusting mark, and you went to Josh Barnett's catch school.
His school was like right next to where I was working before, and I was like, okay, I'll try this out. And then I went to another gym. I'm gonna shout them out. Go to Millennia MMA. One of the best coaches, the best trainers. Millennia MMA, Rancho Cucamonga, and their gym and their training, and it was like, because I used to do Taekwondo when I was a kid, and like that kind of like kept me focused, because I had ADHD, and instead of like doing like taking medication, my dad said, you're gonna learn how to fight, and that's how you're gonna get out all this energy, and I was like, okay. But that started me on.
Man. Like I had ADD too. Like I mean, I still do, but like
I still do.
I never took Taekwondo. My buddy Tyler Robbins. I'm fucking doxing this dude. He like in our hometown, we had a little Taekwondo class or like in school or whatever. And I remember he took it, and he competed and shit, and he was actually, I think, pretty decent.
Yeah.
And I was always so jealous, but like my parents were like, "No, that shit's too expensive. Like, you're not doing that. Go
Oh
play
man.
football or something." And I hated fucking football. I still do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in my 20s and there was a little BJJ place near where I was living.
Hell
Solis
yeah.
Martial Arts, which I don't think exists anymore. But I loved it. But I do have a funny story about a big guy in jujitsu.
Go
But
for it,
go ahead and
man.
finish your
Oh,
thought, man. No, no,
okay.
no.
So doing BJJ and grappling, it's just like it kind of like opened my head to like what you do in pro wrestling because
Hmm.
you've done all the drills. You do so many back bumps, tumbles.
Yeah.
You do a bunch of endurance drills, and I'm like, huh, this 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 seems like what I saw these guys do on Tough Enough.
Hmm.
And like I was like, oh, maybe I could do it. But like you do all this stuff, and that goes on to say like it kind of like puts you on like a I kind of respect how they put themselves through this stuff, but I'm kind of putting myself through this. But I'm
Hmm.
like, how could you do this as a profession? And I'm like, ah, well, maybe it's because they're crazy people. Because there's no way you
Yeah.
can be sane and do pro wrestling. But yeah, like,
You don't know how you can be sane to do pro? Is that what you said?
yeah, I don't know how you can be a
Yeah,
sane
no,
pro
you
wrestler.
can't. Is the answer.
Yeah, you can't. And like
Yeah.
doing martial arts and all that kind of did give me an appreciation for it. Um, Josh Barnett, he went to New Japan and all that, UFC
Right.
heavyweight champion. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna say what else he did because out of respect to my master, but
That's correct.
but
Show respect to your
he
sensei.
he knew what it took to win. I'm
That's
just
right.
saying.
That's right. He did.
I'm just
That's
saying.
correct.
I'm just saying.
Hmm.
And like
Hmm. Multiple times he knew what it took to win.
yeah,
Apparently.
he knows what it takes to win. That's sometimes you just gotta go farther. And
That's right. To
look,
even go this is to go even further beyond, you know?
yeah, because
Yeah.
he really loves anime and Fist in the North Star, and sometimes you gotta take that extra step to get to the top. And anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
I I just think like you doing that and it kind of gives you an appreciation for like the submission part of pro wrestling.
Oh,
Like
for sure. Absolutely.
and it also makes you see guys try to do that shit and you get kind of mad because you're like there's so many there's that gap is so big. Why is his arm not around the
Hmm.
neck? Why is he going for the submission? He has some dead to rights on that heel hook. Why is he not like and like it doesn't ruin it. It kind of ruins it a little bit for me. But like when I see someone that's good at it, like Danielson,
Yeah.
Coach Danielson is one of the best wrestlers. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. I know a
Okay.
lot of people say that I'm a size queen
Hmm.
because I love a big muscular
You do
guy,
love a big boy, yeah.
big
Or girl.
guys or girls.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris, shout out
Shout
to
out to Chris.
Willow,
That's correct. To both of
shout out
them.
to Megan Bain. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, there's this talent in Japan called Miu Watanabe, strong
Yeah.
girl. But
Yeah.
I personally I love a thick woman. So give me Chihiro Hashimoto. I love
Hmm.
I love thick women. That's
Yeah.
my thing.
Yeah.
I
You
mean
got
I
distracted there, but you're talking about
yeah
Brian Danielson.
yeah. So anyway, Brian Danielson, like when I watch him work and the work he does is so tight, so smooth, so
Yeah.
and like you kind of buy into it. Like when he fought Brock Lesnar and like at that time he had just turned heel, right?
Hmm.
But everybody was still cheering him because even though he was kicking Brock in the balls and taking every shortcut because they were living and dying with Brian because even though Brian was a heel, they're still seeing him as the underdog and
You're right. Yeah.
you can't hate Daniel Bryan. You can't hate Daniel Bryan. You can't hate Brian Danielson.
Yeah.
And like the work he did where like he's like smashing Brock's face in with like hammer fist and like cross arms to get him into the freaking the omoplata face lock, yes
Hmm.
lock. It's excellent. And I
Yeah,
personally
he's
love,
incredible.
yeah, I love my wrestling to be violent. Whether that be weapons or not, it doesn't matter. I just love
No, let's
violence.
go. Like that. I'm with you on that. Like
Yeah,
that is my shit. I need that shit to be to be brutal. That have to be
yeah,
bloody. Blood helps,
yeah,
but it needs to be brutal. You know.
yeah. It does it because like you need to like you need to like feel like what you're watching is actually driving you. Man, the cats are outside. Uh,
That's cool.
yeah, but like
My
you
cats
meet
are not here. I've shut the door, so they will not be here today.
the
But
doggy is inside.
yeah.
But you get like all the and it's just I lost my mind for a little bit.
Well,
But
let me because I'm gonna let me pivot. I think this is actually sorry to talk about wrestling on this
oh
podcast, but like
God,
that's kind of my deal. This is actually why I respect Will Ospreay a lot. Like he
yeah.
gets so much shit. Um because it's like to me the brutality of wrestling and the type of wrestling that I like,
Oh yeah.
you can still be flippy and like you can still be very dexterous and acrobatic, but it's like because to me the thing with Osprey is when he lays that shit in, he lays that shit in, man. And it's like
Those
that helps me suspend the disbelief. It's like I don't care if you're gonna like do your little the guy, you know, you're running the ropes and then you do a fucking springboard backflip off a guy's leg and then it turns into a fucking, you know, he does his weird reversals or whatever. But I'm
yeah.
like at the end of the day when he fucking chops a guy or he bumps and he lands on his fucking neck, I'm like it looks brutal. Like that's all
Yeah.
I care about is that
I
it
love
looks like it hurts.
I love that. I love when he hits that hook kick he does.
Yes.
Like he just and like you can if you can hear it smacking if he's not doing
Mm-hmm.
the I was gonna say fruit booty. That's gonna get me.
Yeah,
He's
don't
not
say
doing.
that. That's beep that one. Just beep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not doing like the silly leg slap. You hear the smack of his foot on the guy's face.
Right.
Because there's a safe way to do that, and there's like a there and like he does it like flawlessly all the time. Like
Right.
just catches a guy and like you go, oh shit. Because then like it sets up, okay, that guy is kind of KO'd, and now he's gonna hit the Os cutter, and like you
Mm-hmm.
buy like that guy's gonna stay there for because he's just like, what's going on? Well, and like the sound he gets when he hits the hidden blade, whether from the
Yes.
front or the back,
Yep.
like it's what it sounds like when you hit somebody.
Yeah.
It's a thunk. It's like it's not
Yeah,
a
it's a
slap.
thunk. Exactly. It's I actually when I heard this on Sure Dog, but it's like a baseball bat hitting a tree.
Oh yeah,
Like I've
yeah.
heard that before, and I remember I went to a UFC. I've been to two UFC live events. I probably couldn't afford to do it nowadays, but like
Oh yeah.
I went with my old brother-in-law to Vegas, and it was the I think it was Edgar versus Aldo.
Oh yeah.
When Frankie Edgar challenged Jose Aldo, and on the undercard, fuck, now I can't remember who it was. It might have been Tyrone Woodley, but because I think at that point he was still known as like a wrestler and who didn't have power.
Yeah.
I think that's who it was. And he knocked out a dude. If I had the card in front of me, I could tell you like exactly the fight. I just don't remember it off the top of my head.
Mm.
But he knocked this motherfucker out like with a straight fucking punch down the middle, right on the button. And I just remember being, 20 rows back, and I could still hear that like pop, like it was just like a hollow thunk, and that dude's immediately folded. And I was like, that's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
When you actually hear like the impact of a hit,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like a thigh slap. It just hears like a doosh. It's just like there's nothing to like a bat cracking on like a baseball bat, like that's what it sounds like. So like
it's a very hollow sound.
Yeah, like when you hear those like leg kicks that Jose Aldo would throw, and like you hear the smacking of flesh on flesh, that always made me go ooh, because that dude threw some heavy kicks.
Yes.
I think didn't he knock out Edgar in that fight?
It was a decision.
Okay.
It was a decision fight because I mean Frankie. That was before Frankie lost his chin. But and by the way, just because I looked it up because I had to, it was Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah.
And it was Jay Huron who he knocked out. Who, if
okay.
I remember correctly, might not have ever been knocked out before.
Yeah, I remember that was.
It was 156, UFC 156.
Because Tyron was still like kind of like him and who the heck is that guy? Funky Wrestling. What's his name? What's that guy?
Ben Askren?
Ben Askren. They were like on the same team, kind of doing the same kind of style of grappling,
grapple fucking basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I could talk MMA all day, bro.
Let's go, bro. I'm here as long as you want me to be here.
Like that. This stuff, like I know.
Those were the glory days, man.
Yeah.
Like I can't watch UFC anymore.
I can't watch UFC for a couple of reasons. One,
same.
I can't watch like the propaganda part of it.
Right. The sports washing and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sports washing, and now like because now you have like the whole Riyadh season thing, and of
Yeah.
course you had them like parading out all the GOP people, Elon Musk, whatever,
Right.
and like I was like, oh man, I don't want this in my fighting, and then and then like some of the fighters are just like, you know, you still got John Jones, I guess from time to
Yes.
time, and he's like, you got John Jones, he's all right, still
I have
kind
a
of,
buddy that hates John Jones so bad, and it's
yeah,
so funny to me, man.
yeah, he
He just refuses to give him any fucking credit, and I'm like, you don't gotta like the guy. That's the greatest fighter who's ever fucking lived, man. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and he makes it look so easy, and now he's
Yeah,
fat, so it's even funnier for me.
it rules.
He's just he's like so fat and he's outclassing all these like bodybuilder looking dudes.
Yeah,
Like he made
it's
Cyril
sick.
Gahn look like nothing.
Oh man, that was. I remember I went to that fight specifically. That was his comeback fight, right? Like at
Yeah,
heavyweight.
on
Yeah,
the
and
world
I
title.
went to my buddy. Shout out to my buddy Pat. But like, I went to his house and he's just like, John Jones is fucking piece of shit, wife beaten, cokehead motherfucker. I'm like, all of those things are true. He's
Yeah,
still the best fighter that's ever fucking lived.
yeah.
And he's gonna beat Cyril Gahn's ass. And he's like, no, he's not. Cyril Gahn is way too fast and whatever. And I'm like, we'll see. And he choked that motherfucker out in the first round.
Yeah,
And my buddy lost his mind. He was like, it was a fix. It was whatever. I'm like, dude, he did the same shit he did to Lyoto Machida like fucking 10 years ago. He just fucking
yeah.
grabbed that motherfucker in a fucking front face lock and fucking choked his ass out,
Then
man.
dropped them. Then dropped them.
Dropped his ass like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, like you cannot deny John Jones
Can't
and his
deny it.
talent.
No.
He is
He did lose to
101.
Gustafson that first fight. He should have
Yeah,
lost that
yeah,
fight.
that was really close. It could have gone.
Yeah.
No, it couldn't have gone either way.
Until he elbowed that motherfucker on the top of his dome. Like that's what
Yeah,
threw it back.
the
But like,
blood is what really convinces people that that's.
yeah.
And then he did own, he owned Daniel Cormier in all their fights.
Oh,
I gotta
whooped his
say,
ass. I mean, completely mentally broke Cormier.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Like,
that's
yeah.
that's just
Because Cormier
obvious.
is also an elite, like all-time fighter. Like,
Yeah,
no shade to Daniel Cormier. He's fucking amazing. But like,
especially at heavyweight.
Johnny Bones was just in that motherfucker's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cormier at heavyweight was pretty unstoppable.
Yes.
I always found him to be like a better fighter than Kane. Kane was just more relentless as a fighter.
I will never say a good word about Cain Velasquez, not because of that guy that he shot, but like because he beat Junior Dos Santos's ass so bad that he never fought the same again. And JDS was my boy. So
I love Cigano. I love Digit.
he's
That
good.
guy.
He's good. He's good.
He should have done pro wrestling after. He had that one match
He
in
did.
AEW.
I was there, man. He
And
did.
he
He
was
was in
so
AEW.
natural. He was so natural.
He was
Why
great
did
at it,
Tony
man.
Khan not offer him like the contract right there? Him
I
and
don't know.
Andre. Andre
Yeah.
was good too.
Arlovsky was great, man. That was people shit talk that street fight. I had a I was there live for that because that was Hanger's coronation.
Yeah.
But I had a blast for that, man. I was marking the fuck out. But I loved Cigano, dude. Like
Yeah. How can you
he'd
not,
walk
man?
out, he'd point at the fucking mat. I'm like, that's the kind of shit that you need from a fighter. Is dude's like, you're about to sleep, you know?
Yeah.
And he did
he's-
sleep. He did
he
sleep
slept so
Kane
many
that
people.
first fight so much so that it
Yeah.
almost cost UFC a fucking Fox deal. But like,
Yeah.
I'll never
Yeah.
forget that shit. I exploded, man.
I love that first fight they had. He comes out to the Rocky song.
Yeah.
You hear his story about coming out from the slums and coming out and doing all this.
Yeah.
And then he spoke English.
Yeah.
That's the difference. He spoke English. Like two of my favorite fighters. It's Sagano and fuck, Verdum. I love Verdum also.
Oh, Verdum, yeah, man.
Like those are two of my favorite like Brazilian fighters because
Yeah.
like the Sagano came out there and he had like dynamite on his freaking in his hands. Like,
Yeah.
he'll touch you from where like that first fight with Kane, he just touched him in the ear and
Back of the ear. Yeah.
that was it.
That was
He
it.
went down.
Yep.
And like Verdum, like what I like about him is like he was so durable and then his submissions were like disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Verdum, like I'm glad that Verdum got that like late stage kind of renaissance where he became
Yeah.
the champ. Like I was very happy for Verdum.
Yeah.
Both also seem to be like really sweet dudes.
Yeah.
Like Verdum's the goof, like with his stupid little grin that he did in like every picture, and then like JDS is just like such a, I don't know, they're such like sweet dudes. I mean, they beat my ass, but like they
Yeah,
seem to be sweeties.
yeah,
UFC, bring back sweeties. Like they're everyone now is like, they're all fascists or
well,
whatever. Like bring back the sweeties,
yeah. Like, who's that dude? That fucking redneck who talked about maybe.
Oh yeah, I've
I'm like,
seen clips of him.
I'm like,
Like
dude, he's totally like touched in the head too
yeah,
many
a little bit.
times.
I
And
mean,
like,
again, kind of like a wrestlers are all crazy, like you said earlier. Like all
yeah,
you to be like a prize fighter, you have to be like a little
yeah,
insane. But
yeah,
like I
definitely.
think in the early days, like you still had some people that weren't like, honestly, I really think that it's like Conor McGregor and to like some degree like Chael Sonnen, because I know Chael was always doing like the pro wrestling shit,
Yeah,
but like when every other fighter realized, I think you have to be that guy to like
yeah,
become a star, like that fucked the sport. Because like the technicality, like the technical skill is still very good. I just can't deal with all the extra shit,
yeah.
you know?
I'm gonna say this about Chael. He's a really
Hmm.
sweet guy. He always
Yeah.
stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna
Okay.
say.
Okay.
All I'm
Stay
gonna say.
tuned. All right.
Um, and like, yeah, you kind of need those sweethearts. You need. I miss like having a GSP figure on.
Yeah.
I miss when the most hated guy was Bisping, and Bisping is like he's not even a jerk. He's a nice guy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you had Dan Hendo. Hendo's a
Hmm.
really nice guy. Cub Swanson is a really nice guy.
Hindo's book, though, was that Hindo's book? No, not Hindo. That was, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Matt Hughes. I'm
Oh,
confusing him.
but yeah,
Yeah,
Hendo's.
yeah. No,
The less said
Hindo's good.
about
Yeah, Dan Henderson.
yeah. Matt Hughes' book
Respect to
is
Dan
kind of
Henderson.
fucked up.
Respect to Shogun Hua.
Yeah,
You know,
right. It you
legend in
like
the fucking game.
yeah. It sucks that we don't have like nice guys in fighting anymore. Like,
Yeah.
and I talk about like this because I'm Filipino. I love Mark Munoz.
Hmm.
Mark Munoz, he was never gonna be a champion, but he always got in there. He put in work, and
He put that shit on the line, man.
he went hard, and I love him. And like I bring him up because I also bring up like Manny Pacquiao, and like
Hmm.
a big part of Manny Pacquiao's appeal was like how sweet he was.
Hmm.
The fight was okay, but I did not feel his punch. But he did his best. I did my best. It's okay.
Yeah.
Um, it's like that kind of humility. That's what's missing. Everybody's trying to be fucking Mayweather or
Right.
Connor
Yeah.
or like
The
now
big,
like
the cocksure fucking ass talk,
yeah,
shit talker. And it's like, no, what's cool to me is the dude who like comes in, who, like you say, is like talking like Pacquiao and like being all like demure or whatever. And then
yeah,
they get out there and they're fucking killers. Like
yeah,
that to me is the thing to like root for. Cause you're
yeah,
like, yeah, this guy just seems like a normal dude. Then the bell rings and they're just fucking killers.
yeah.
Like, yeah, anyway.
What was GSP's famous line? I'm not very impressed by his
I am not
performance.
impressed with your performance.
Like that's it. That's
Hmm.
he didn't say anything about like him personally. He did
Right.
like and then Koscheck was there is talking all this shit, calling him he dropped F
Cost
bombs on
check,
him.
man. We're going. We're just gonna talk about MMA, like old MMA, for like the next like fucking
It's good, man.
hour.
This is what I
That's
love,
sick.
man.
No,
Cause
it's
like
same, dude.
Cause like you told me like you had that big gap between wrestling, and I was like, we could talk WCW. I've talked WCW. I want to talk stuff that I like.
Hmm.
And I'm sure there's people that are like thinking about like when they loved UFC when it was at its height, and I
Yeah.
and I love like having this kind because like combat sports, pro wrestling, same
Hmm.
kind of thing. One of the nicest guys I met. I'm gonna tell this because this is a fun story. I went to Hawaii on vacation like maybe like 13 years ago, right?
Hmm.
Before then, I was kept hyping up my cousins and like my wife was saying, "We're definitely gonna meet BJ Penn. We're definitely gonna meet BJ Penn." And everybody said, "Just because we're going to Hawaii does not mean you're going to meet BJ Penn, right? Whole time we're not
Hmm.
gonna meet BJ Penn. Stop saying we're gonna see him." So on the last day, we go to the airport. Who's in our same lounge?
BJ Penn.
BJ Penn, and
How's BJ doing, man? Is he doing all right? I've heard
uh,
some. I've heard some troubling things.
there's some troubling things there, but at this time, it wasn't like it wasn't so open out there, whatever.
Yeah.
But like he was
Baby
really
J.
nice.
Baby
He was
J.
baby J. He was still sweet baby J. He had
Hmm.
his baby, and like I said, "Hey man, nice to meet you, big fan." He's like, "Oh, come on, brah, take a picture." You and your family, come on, bro. Y'all take pictures here. Come on.
Aw.
So we have like, however long it was on like my wife's Facebook, there was pictures of us with my whole family with BJ Penn.
With BJ
And then
Penn.
we got on the plane. It's like, how the hell did you say that we were gonna meet BJ Penn and then we meet BJ Penn? So I want to say me kind of like finessing and manifesting things has been an ongoing theme.
Hell yeah.
I know like that's kind of like my little gimmick online, whatever. But hey,
You have the gift of sight, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Yeah,
positivity, man, power of positivity. Um,
absolutely.
it's just, man, like also like when I look at wrestling too, I also like guys who are nice guys, the sweethearts outside the ring.
Yeah.
Inside you can be like the biggest jerk possible, but
Hmm.
outside if you have like kind of that persona, that front-facing persona, because everything's a persona, that you're a
Yeah.
nice guy, I'm gonna run with you. I'm gonna ride with you, because there's something about nice guys actually doing it. Like Kofi Kingston actually being world champion.
Yeah.
Danielson, he's a really nice guy. Him
Hmm.
becoming world champion, being like the biggest star in the whatever, like that's cool, and I like it when people that are nice and people that kind of have that persona where you could like say I'm a fan of that guy and he doesn't embarrass me, and
Yeah.
that's a good feeling, not to be embarrassed by someone that you like. And I'm sorry for all you CM Punk fans out there, like
Let's go. Let's
that's
go.
but
Well,
like
because I was about to say, like, that's why my number one, my guy now is Adam Page, man.
oh yeah,
Like,
dude, and
genuinely seems like the biggest sweetheart in the fucking world, you
yeah,
know?
just taking pictures of his garden,
Yeah.
just being like
Talking shit about weeds and stuff, you know? It's
yeah,
like,
just
this
being a
guy just
guy.
wants to fucking, he just wants to, like, hug his wife and his children, and then he gets in the ring, and he's a fucking killer, you
Yeah,
know?
freaking that one politician from Chicago taking that picture of him because he was hot. That's the only reason she took that picture.
That's
You
right.
know it, because like
Well, he also was a Bernie donor, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
like,
yeah,
so she probably is like, this is the guy I need to meet to like get my bona fides, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But
because
yeah, shout out to her too. I don't remember her name.
yeah, I don't know
I
her
know that
name off the top of
Hassan
my
was
head.
there like recently, and her campaign was trying to get him to visit, but like, good for her, man. Like,
Yeah,
I hope she succeeds at whatever she's
yeah,
doing.
it's
She
it's
seems
good.
legit.
It's good to see young people
Yeah,
have good politics and try to make a good difference in the world, as opposed to you see all like these grifters and charlatans online trying to
yeah,
make life worse for people just because they're
right.
putting more money in their pockets.
There's
And like,
like a very fucked up thing, and like I hate, you know, like as an elder millennial, um, it's it's like a such a I don't like to do talk shit too much about like, you know, all the Zoomers or whatever. Like I'll have fun with it, but like I
yeah,
genuinely don't think that generational title, like, you know, the fact that whatever generation you're in means anything really.
yeah,
Shout out to Mara, like the best Gen Xer, but like
oh yeah,
it's like there is a weird tendency, and I think it's mostly just like kind of an outcome of the like of the way clout works now and social media and shit, where there is like a different kind of deal now. Like there's a cruelty in the way that people behave now that's
yeah,
rewarded in a way that I think is like genuinely detrimental to like having a society that is good.
yeah. Oh,
And
when
that's really disturbing and depressing to me.
that's so gross. Like, I think in the news, I don't care. I'll date this. There was a guy 25-year-old guy who like pipe bombed the Planned Parenthood in Palm Springs.
Yes, I just saw that today. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, how that's like a headline from the 90s, straight
Yeah.
from the 90s. And
Well,
like,
because did you read the whole story where he's like, I didn't consent to exist, and like
oh yeah, he's
it's
one of
fucked up.
those.
Like everyone should like life shouldn't. It's so fucking because the headline I saw was like he was a pro mortalist, and I'm like, the fuck. And he apparently was friends with some girl who had asked her boyfriend to shoot her in the head while she was asleep, and he did. And like, because they're just like, I never consented to being alive. Where it's like, fuck, man, like that's the most depressing shit I've ever read in my life.
That's so depressing, and that's so freaking. Why can't it just be a crazy Christian guy?
Right,
That's
yeah, exactly. Why is it this like whacked out shit where it's like, oh, all like you sound like a fucking Final Fantasy like end boss, brother.
oh yeah,
life is all meaningless. We can only be at peace if the world is destroyed. It's like,
Gotta,
brother, like the games, like they're the bad guys in the games. All right, like you're not supposed to
yeah,
relate to Sephiroth. Okay, like
yeah.
just move on. But yeah.
We gotta drop all these Phoenix Downs everywhere, man.
Exactly.
Um,
You know what? You know what needs a Phoenix down? The sense of decency, Doc. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
yeah. We we need to bring the sense of decency and just goodness back. We need to be
I'm
goodness.
going to bring a mega elixir to the people. All right. That's what I'm saying. That's my
That's
fucking.
hey
That's my
man.
tagline.
We need that boost. We need that stat boost on human
Yes.
decency and just caring for your fellow man. That's what we need. Those are
I'm
the
about
stats
to
boost.
limit break about Donald Trump's fucking economic plan. I don't know. Sorry, I was lid posting for a second. I'm gonna back up. Anyway, all
Oh
right.
yeah, yeah. Because when we talk about these things about like having goodness and like having hope for the future, like there's
Yeah.
when I see like my nephews and they're doing STEM because like it's very fun to them, and I'm playing a math game with them where I throw out like
Hmm.
square root of like 81 times 7 and then you to the fourth power, and then like he's going boom, because this is the games that my grandma used to play with me,
Hmm.
just to throw out like because she knew like how my brain worked, and like
I was there till the power of four, but yeah.
yeah,
Then I got lost.
oh yeah, me too. I don't have it in my
Okay,
anymore.
good. Okay.
I did not take
I was like
mine, but still.
9. Yeah, okay. Like 9 times 65. Then you're to the power
Yeah,
of four. I'm like, I'm fucked, buddy. I couldn't tell you that one.
yeah. Because whenever we go out to eat,
Hmm.
my wife always loves to play the game where like I guess the price on what the check is gonna be,
Uh huh.
and then today was the first time I lost.
Oh
I
shit.
was so
What'd you
disappointed.
lose on?
Uh, so I went over because I thought like, oh, we're eating at this fancy whatever restaurant. I was like, all right, 150,
Hmm.
and then I was like, no, fuck, I was wrong because I said it right after I said it, and then and then she took the opportunity to say, because then like she knows my strategy. She's like counting it in her head, and she does
Hmm.
the calculation in like her phone, and
Uh
then she
huh.
says 140, and then I was like, and then I'm like, you're right, and then like she's like, finally, hell yeah, I knew I did it, because this is like years and years of me winning this stupid game.
She finally got your
She finally
ass.
got me today, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I love you. You're smart. You're smart. I love you.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so just bringing that thing up. There was something I watched that was kind of depressing in a way, because like on the not to be a downer, but like so I watched the
No, let's get
daily.
bleak, man. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So I watched the Daily Show, right? So he's interviewing
Okay.
this Jordan Peterson, the guy that goes out there and interviews all these people. Not Jordan
Hmm.
Peterson.
I'm about to say, like, wait, Jordan Peterson doesn't go out and interview people.
Not Jordan Peterson. Do
You
not
were the
eat
man
raw
on
meat.
the street.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan, whatever his name is. He interviewed like Hasanabi, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So like he says, okay, let's go ahead and make a TikTok profile for you you're gonna pretend to be a 16-year-old boy. They just registered, and then he gets bombarded with hyper masculinity, Andrew Tate videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even searching anything, but that's just what you get hit with.
That's it. Like that. Yeah. Right. Just based off your like biological data, like that's what the algorithm serves you immediately.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
I miss how YouTube used to be before
Hmm.
all this, because you used to see like stuff that you wanted to see, like your for you the mentions for you were actually like match what your pattern of watching was,
Right.
instead
Yeah.
of like pushing this thing, and then like people used to make money on it, and
Hmm.
people used to use it to become like semi celebrities, and
Right.
for me and my purposes, like I used to like watch all these Asian YouTubers and seeing them hit and become something. That was
Hmm.
kind of a point of pride, because like Hollywood was never gonna put them on, but they put themselves on with YouTube, and that's
Yeah.
how they made themselves. And I
Yeah.
thought that's cool. But then once like the whole thing with the ad rates and all the algorithms started, and everybody got fucked on it,
Mhm.
And then you see everybody that was doing it now they have to do like the freaking the Mage grift to get even seen any little bit of
Right.
momentum, and that
Yeah,
fucking sucks.
it does.
It
Yeah, I mean, it's
sucks.
just like it's one of those things where it's like you like the deal with that. This gets this. We're kind of like going on like I'm gonna do a little bit of a political tangent, but like there's just so
Go
much.
for it. I love
There's
it.
so much dooming now that like all like the youth are so like right wing. Like it's like there's a rightward shift in this country or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like you're like some of that might be true because like I do believe that there's like a constant like action reaction, right? Like it's
Yeah.
like a rubber band that's constantly bouncing back and forth. You know, like we grew up in the 90s, which was like kind of a liberal backlash to the 80s and like Reaganism, right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
we grew up in like the Bill Clinton presidencies where it's like we had 10 years of austerity and then followed by the George H.W. Bush administration, and like that moved into Clinton and then Obama, or I mean, then George W. Bush, then Obama, and like it's just always like it's snapping back and forth forever. And
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, sure, for right now, like we went Trump won, then the rubber band snapped back, we got Biden, now it's snapping back again, we're getting Trump too, and it's like there's always going to be some kind of movement, but like part of it I think is like everyone who should know better they're following based off the way that media works right now, like which
Yeah.
is a very pointed and purposeful direction. Like these tech companies that have the algorithms, like they're driving things that get engagement, which is like usually shit that you don't fucking agree with. Like I have an algorithm that is always trying to give me shit that I hate. And I just refuse to fucking click on it. I'm like, no, I don't need to know it. I'm like, I click the three dots and I'm just like, I'm not interested in this,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's that kind of shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I just think people are overestimating that stuff. I think that it's like, there's probably some degree of that, but yeah, like you really need to look at like what the actual enemy is, which is these fucking tech companies that just
Yeah.
like they're trying to make you mad and like put you in this direction. And I think people just need to like, I don't know, sit back, take a broader look at it anyway, and it's not freak out about it. Like I have to maintain hope that like that isn't actually how it's going. But
Yeah.
anyway,
And now we're gonna talk some fun stuff.
hell yeah, let's go.
You were saying this that you were listening to a book on the CIA
Yes,
and Charles Manson. Um,
yes,
what is
chaos is what
okay?
it's called.
So
Yeah.
what is the basis of the book?
It's so I had found this author. The Let me preamble this like a little bit. Since I went into law school and it was required for me to do a fuck ton of reading like all the time, I basically stopped reading books for my own pleasure, and that's continued in like the 10 years since that. I just haven't read that much.
Well,
Um, and so there's a podcast called TrueAnon that is hosted by Brace Belden and Liz. I'm gonna get her last name wrong. Frasniak, I think.
okay.
Anyway, but they had a guy on who was talking about this. It's about the Manson family. Like it's just about
Hmm.
like this guy who was I think writing for Variety. This journalist whose name let me like look it up. Hold on, because I want to give the Tom O'Neill.
Okay.
Um, he's supposed to do this story just about like on an anniversary of like the Manson family murders, like big crime of the century type shit,
Yeah.
and he just dives a little bit more into it. And I knew a little bit about the Manson family because like I used to play music, and I
Oh
loved like the
yeah.
Beach Boys and the Beatles. Like I was very into that like that '60s like music scene, and
Yeah.
so I'd always heard about the shit about like, oh, did you know like Charles Manson was like friends with one of the Beach Boys? And I'm like, oh, this is like an interesting kind of like aspect to me. And I kind of knew it. Um, but it kind of goes into just the fact that like there's a lot of really weird inconsistencies about how the Manson family murders went down, like specifically the Sharon Tate murder. Um, Kind of talking about like where it was then, like in the kind of political atmosphere of like COINTELPRO
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That it's kind of like and I haven't finished the book yet. I'm working on it. I think I've got like 2 chapters left. But like,
Okay,
there's a little talk about like it's really weird how Charlie Manson was like a well-known criminal that kind of kept being able to not be sent back to federal prison, even though he was on parole and constantly breaking it
that's crazy.
to kind of do this. So I haven't. I don't think I've reached like the final like thesis,
Yeah,
but it's just a very interesting deal that just it kind of follows just like I would guess, and again, having not finished the book, forgive me if I'm wrong on this. Anyone listening who might have read it, that it's like it's just odd that Charles Manson specifically like kind of was floating through this atmosphere that like led him to like the Haight Ashbury like free medical clinic that like
yeah,
was sponsored by like the by NIM, like the National Institute for Mental Health, and they were doing studies on like what acid does to fucking rats and all this shit. It's very weird. Just kind of an interesting story about it, but it kind of the purpose of the book is like the prosecutor of the case, the actual Manson murders, whose name I should know because I've heard it 1,000 times now, reading the book, is like but he wrote Helter Skelter, which is like the kind of like commonly understood like this is what the Manson family was, and the
yeah.
whole idea about the race war and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, that doesn't really match. Like that doesn't actually really make a whole lot of sense because like, did Charles Manson really actually believe that, or was this just a much more like kind of like directed, kind of pointed crime? I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm reading right now. So anyway,
Oh yeah,
sorry.
dude. No, I love that stuff
It's very interesting. It's very interesting.
because
I'm going
you
to go into some other books that like I got to knock this out because I was like 6 chapters in, and I was like, I have to finish this book.
yeah,
Then I have a whole list of other ones that I'm going to
yeah.
read. But yeah,
Because a big interest of mine is
mm,
like cults, right?
okay,
Because Jim Jones, uh,
yeah,
that dude was super charismatic, um,
right,
and you know what, the and also like what I just finished like that Waco series, uh,
hmm,
the TV series, not the documentary. I watched so many documentaries on Waco, but like
okay,
just like thinking about someone that has of a innate charisma to convince people to follow him to the end.
yeah,
Um, and like something about like Waco just didn't sit right with me about like why were they burned alive inside the house?
hmm,
And that's always been something that kind of like haunts me a little bit. Like just to
right,
think about like that the pain and suffering that those men, women, and children were going through, and the
sure,
fact that it was kind of like the police using they had military force, like it seemed like overkill, honestly.
hmm,
And like, was it? Why were they having to go so hard? Was there something that he was doing
like
that
going at the Branch Davidians like that
yeah,
hard,
yeah,
yeah,
and like I think about like stuff like you talk about like CIA conspiracies. All of a sudden, I'm gonna
hmm,
disappear. Watch, and I like you think about stuff like what the CIA was directly responsible in like the narco thing with in Medellin of like
yeah,
and the whole thing is the CIA actually put crack cocaine into the projects in order to disrupt
hmm,
and destroy these neighborhoods and these communities.
yeah, right,
And like I and then there's like actual paperwork that kind of like traces like yeah that is a possible thing that could have
yeah,
happened. And like
yeah,
I think about stuff like, the FBI was kind of created to control people. And they were dispatched to get rid of the people who fought for Puerto Rican independence. Shout out to you, numbers.
hmm.
And like, they would kill
What on
people.
numbers?
Yeah,
Sorry, I had to give a shout out to numbers too.
yeah. Because like, like that stuff is interesting. Why is our government working to get hurt and just take out people, take out our
Well,
own American
so much
people?
of this shit is like when you really like look, because like look, I'm gonna say like I'm not like an expert on this.
Yeah, I'm not either.
You know,
I'm just a guy.
I'm a curiosity. Like it's interesting to me. I was actually I had lunch with my dad a couple days ago, and shout out to my dad, like very sweet, sweet man. He's like
Mr.
70
Roses.
for Mr. Roses. Yes, Mr. Roses is my father's name. Randy Roses. Yeah, like he I was just kind of talking to him about like curiosity and where it's
Yeah,
like I remember that, I think I've always been like in kind of my political journey. I think I've always been very at least like like I've been left leaning like my
yeah,
entire time. Like
yeah.
I remember that when I was very young, I grew up in a very small town in Texas, and when we
Boy
were in I
howdy.
think third grade,
Boy howdy.
boy howdy, yeah, small town East Texas. That's more of like a different draw. We have a more shrill draw because it's like East Texas,
Ah,
but
yeah.
like I remember, I think it was like third grade. We had a school-wide mock election for the president that year, and it was George H.W. Bush, Bill
Mm.
Clinton, and Ross Perot. And so they polled like all of these elementary school children, and they posted the results on, like out in the hall. I was apparently the only child in this like 400 student elementary school that voted for Bill Clinton.
Wow.
Like I was the only Bill Clinton voter. And so I couldn't tell you why, but I do remember that afterwards people were like yelling me, like my friends who were like 8 years old, like I was, or however old I was, I couldn't have been much older than 8, were like yelling at me about abortion. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, like
Someone's
but
parents got to them.
someone got exactly, and so I was like, I don't know, he played the saxophone one time on Arsenio Hall and he seemed kind of cool.
Yeah,
But my curiosity always kind of led me to look. And so like looking at things like CIA and conspiracy theories or whatever, it's like I've definitely read all the shit that's like that's meaningless, right? But it's like
yeah,
then you find those little nuggets of truth. Like you find out about like the Tuskegee experiments. Like you find
oof,
out about COINTELPRO. Like, and you're
yeah,
kind of like, these things are documented. And
yeah,
it's like when you look further into that, it's kind of like, damn, that's fucked up. And it all just kind of loops back around to post World War II lunacy, where they
yeah.
like the American government was so concerned about like
Going to the
the
moon.
threat of communism that it's like we took the CIA, which was never supposed to operate like within the American borders, and just kind of unleashed like this intelligence apparatus. And it's like, fuck, man, like we're still just like everything now. The thing to me that just all made it kind of click is that when you look at it from that sense, it's like everyone collectively lost their minds in like the 50s and 60s
Yeah,
about like the Cold War. Like that just raised paranoia in people so high that we just basically said the fucking chains are off, go nuts.
yeah,
That everything else that has ever happened in like American political histories from that point makes perfect sense.
yeah.
That it's
Because
like, yeah, we're just living like the
yeah,
chickens are just coming home to roost, and that's why we're at
yeah.
where we are right now.
Yeah, if you look at post World War II, like the Americans took all of the data from like how the Japanese tortured all the Chinese and Nanking,
Hmm.
and they took all the data from all like from the concentration camps, and they took
Yeah.
all those scientists from those doing those experiments and brought them over to the United States.
Yep.
And like when I go
And
to
the Nazis.
and the
Don't
Nazis,
forget the Nazis.
yeah,
Yeah. We
I
got
was
that
saying
too. Yeah.
they got the Nazis, they got the Japanese people who
Mhm.
all tortured, and they got all that data and they used it for their
Yep.
own purposes because
Yep.
the like as we learned in pro wrestling, the victors always write history.
That's correct.
So
Right. That's why DX drove that tank and whatever, and that was
yeah,
yada yada yada.
that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was yeah. So it's just like yeah, when you really take a look at it and what did the U.S. do after winning, and like you look at U.S. imperialism, and you're just like God, because they said they were like stopping it, right? They're okay,
Right.
but then like we're look at all the American air bases everywhere,
Right.
everywhere, and
Yeah.
like look at places like Philippines, South Korea, Okinawa.
Hmm.
We still have one in Germany. We got one. I don't know. Do we still have that one in Iraq? We have Guam. Like friggin', we have we have that Guantanamo Bay in Cuba still. It's
Yep.
like everywhere. There's something there where the U.S. can
There's
like
some presence. Yeah.
yeah, the U.S. can like just go and like it's on and
Yep.
like. Uh, it's just
Is Okinawa the one where like there have been so many fucking like Marines that have like gotten
murders.
like killed people in drunk
Yeah,
driving accidents or whatever?
yeah,
Yeah, okay. That's
yeah.
the
They
craziest shit to me that we're just like but yeah, sorry, our guys keep getting shit faced and killing people. Like, please ignore this.
Yeah, dude, it's kind
Yeah.
of like I mean, it's not kind of it is embarrassing and like
It
you
really is.
you like hear about it like because you know like in the Philippines there's like always these stories of like military men going there and then you know they find a woman of the night and then
Hmm.
like it ends up they kill them and
Right.
then they get tried by like a military court and then nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Right.
Nothing
Yeah.
happens.
We
It's
sweep it under
because
the rug.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's
like
fucked up.
it's
Yeah.
all fucked up, dude.
Yeah, it's
And like
incredibly fucked up. And then the people yell at you because you're like, "Oh, do you hate the fucking military?" It's like, no, brother. Like, I really just want us to like behave like appropriately to our status. Where
yeah,
it's like, it's a weird thing. Like as a leftist, that like people like the common thing like from chuds and whatever is like you hate Americans, you hate whatever. It's like man, it's just like no, like we're the most powerful country in the fucking earth. Like we act like we have like can we set the standard of like this is how shit's supposed to be like with that status. um I don't know, anyway,
yeah,
that's a very naive thought, like admittedly, but it's
yeah,
just kind of like a thing that irritates me when people like get mad at me for like when I'm like, oh, we should just be like mildly decent about things. They're like, what do you think we need to fucking do, you fucking pussy? And it's like I don't know, man, like not be that way. It's not that hard, dude. I don't
yeah.
know.
Oh man,
Anyway, yeah.
yeah. You know, I mean,
I'm trying to actively prevent myself from like going off too hard, but you
yeah,
know,
yeah. And you
yeah,
know, I want to talk about this because I've talked to so many people like this.
yeah,
Um, and because like you know we're freestyling here. We're
absolutely.
already off the rails, and I want to
We're
keep going.
riffing. We're like a fucking hour and a half in, and like we're just going. Yeah,
Yeah, because like if I talk about the manosphere, because I kind of brought it up a little bit earlier.
yeah,
It's just you think about stuff like the men going their own way movement.
yeah. The
You think about
MGTOWs.
yeah,
Yeah,
you think about and like they were kind of like the joke on the internet for the longest time. And then Andrew Tate with all of his stuff becomes like the most popular guy on social media,
right,
talking about like, uh, I slap her around and all that stuff.
right.
You
Convicted
know,
like sex trafficker
affected
Andrew
sex
Tate, by the way.
trafficker.
I don't know if he's been convicted. Actually, let me
No,
not get sued. But like,
allegedly,
I mean,
alleged.
yeah, I don't know. Like, pretty
Uh,
well known, but yeah,
yeah,
I just don't know the
yeah,
technicalities of it.
yeah. They brought him over here from Romania.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
very fucked up. Yeah.
very fucked up situation. Just like seeing this kind of behavior presented as like good, and like when it comes to UFC, that
Mm,
dude is like standing out there with fucking Dana White, um, at like
right.
one of those fights, and then you have like, uh, it's just it's just kind of like it's disheartening to see like behavior like this, your body, my choice, words like
Mm.
that being said,
But that
stuff
was like
about like
Nicholas Fuentes, though, right?
oh
Like,
yeah,
wasn't that
that's
like,
Nicholas Fuentes. Nobody gives
yeah,
a shit about
like
him.
actual fucking open avowed neo-Nazi,
Yeah,
also closeted. Not that that
yeah,
means anything, but like
yeah. You know,
that's
he
that's the
loves
most
go
ironic thing about Nick Fuentes is it's, the worst kept secret. But
yeah, yeah. He
I love it. Sorry, I love it when dudes who it's like when people espouse like neo-Nazi ideology, where it's like, brother, you're gonna be the first one against the wall. Like, why are you doing this?
yeah.
Anyway, but
Yeah, it's funny, man, like cuz he forgot to close all of his tabs.
right.
That's why I never have all my tabs open. That's
Hmm.
why I never share my screen.
That's
Uh,
right.
you never share your screen.
I keep a separate one when I'm if I ever stream like a pay per view or whatever. I keep it on a separate window. You
Yeah.
don't need to see my
Uh,
tabs, brother.
yeah, you don't want to see all those tabs.
Yeah,
17 tabs open. What is this? Oh,
exactly.
okay.
All you need is like three characters at the front of it to like kind of make your own conclusions. But yeah,
Yeah. Um, SE. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Right. Yeah,
it's
I just Google sex. I Google sex and boobs, and that's how I find my porn.
oh yeah. Like when I
Google,
first
yes, at Google like boobs, and then that's me.
man,
Boobs.com.
I'm gonna reveal this about my one of my little baby cousins, right?
Mm.
So once he got online, we went through his search history, and he always put like on like hugging, and then he put naked hugging. So I just want to put
Naked
that out there.
hugging.
It's like all of his videos on like YouTube are like hugging because he was like he's 8, right?
Yeah,
Eight,
right.
9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
We
Yeah,
love hugging. Yeah,
hugging
like
is
hugging's
nice.
nice.
And then
Yeah.
like I typed in N and then naked hugging.
Naked hugging. It has a little clock where it's like that's your like search
That's
history. You're
your
like,
last search.
fuck.
And I
That
was
motherfucker
like,
was looking up naked hugging.
because this was like what, like 10, 12 years ago, and I was like,
That's hilarious.
hey, what's this naked hugging? And
Dude, I
then
remember like, okay, you and I are of the same age.
yes, sir.
Like, do you remember like getting like old internet and like just like in like now like porn is so like readily available. Like it's
Yeah,
like literally like you being I remember being like a 12-year-old and like literally looking up like sex.com and that
yeah,
shit was like a real website. It was a subscription service which I could not pay for, but I was like, damn, the internet's crazy. I can just look up sex.com and it's a
yeah.
website with sex on it. Like
Oh
it was
man.
crazy.
Did you have cable growing up?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Basic
Did
cable, like
did
nothing
you
advanced. We didn't have
did,
HBO or anything like
oh,
that.
okay. Did you ever watch the E Network?
Uh, like E Entertainment News.
Yeah. They had these
Um,
shows called Wild On that,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and like, it had all these porn stars on it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna name them. I'm gonna name them because this is also my
Name
game.
them.
You had like
Go.
Asia Carrera, you
Asia
had you
Carrera.
had Devin, you
Mm-hmm.
had Houston, you
Uh-huh.
had Serenity,
Uh-huh.
you had you know the the OG. You had, of course, Jenna Jameson.
Yeah, I was about to say
Um,
Jen Jameson.
yeah,
Yeah.
you also had all of them like also on like Howard
Linking it back to
Stern.
MMA, by the way, shout out ex Ms. Tito Ortiz. That's fucked up what happened between them, but
Yeah,
like we're relating it
you know,
back to what we were saying before.
yeah, and also to being a politically former mayor pro tem of Huntington Beach,
Mm-hmm.
Tito Ortiz, who
Yeah.
quit because the Wokes got
That's the
to him.
craziest shit that I've ever seen is that Tito Ortiz got elected.
Oh man, that's gotta love Huntington Beach, man.
Gotta love Huntington Beach.
It's a holy
And
shit.
the bad boys therein.
Yeah, the Huntington Beach bad boy gotta
Yeah.
make sure that uh, the libraries are not woke. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
But so anyway, porn stars, Wild
yeah.
On.
So
You're
yeah,
saying.
so like these all those names stuck in my head. So the first time we
Mm,
got online, America Online, I go
okay.
onto AskJeeves.com because that was the commercials, as was the style at the time, and
Right.
I put Asia Carrera sex, and then you get like,
Did you put a question mark?
yeah,
Sex?
and then like,
Yeah.
you get like pictures, and
Sure.
then like, you get Real Player, and eventually you get
Yes.
to the children. Real Player was
Yeah.
a phenomenal multimedia player, and like,
Yeah, like that RPA or like whatever like the old like whatever the extensions used to be. Yeah.
yeah,
I can
you.
relate this back to wrestling when you're done, but go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna relate this right to wrestling. So
Okay, cool.
the second thing I looked up besides sex was pro wrestling, right?
ECW?
New Japan, New Japan,
Okay.
all Japan.
I never
Because
knew New Japan existed till I was like in my fucking 20s.
oh, dude,
But
so
yeah.
the video store that I grew up next to was owned by Japanese guys from Japan who really love wrestling. So they would
Okay.
get like the laser disc of FMW, New
Laser
Japan,
discs.
laser
That's
disc.
fucking crazy.
They have the laser disc and they had the commercial tapes VHS, but
Hell yeah.
they had like the full laser disc for FMW, New Japan. That's how I watched Hogan versus Muta.
That's
Mm,
so sick, man.
it was a laser disc. So it and it did have the promo of "This is just a trinket, brother. This means nothing. It's just a toy."
That's right. Like him talking about the WWF title versus the IWGP or whatever.
Yeah, it's still true.
Yeah.
It's still true. Um,
That is true. That is true.
yeah. But like it's just that's what I searched. That's what I searched because I was watching New Japan. I was watching the tapes. I was like, I wonder what's going on because like the tapes would be like from like what was going on like maybe like at last year. and they just
Mm-hmm.
come out because that's how they would have because it's a compilation tape, or sometimes it's a show tape, and the show tape would come out like maybe like 2 months after the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, looking, and then I found Pro Wrestling Fan and Pro Wrestling Spirit, and then I found one of those websites because one of the first things I watched online live was Monday Nitro, from one of the websites that you would search, like you say, watch wrestling live, and like
Yeah.
you'd watch the real player stream of it. So I watched the real player stream. I remember the first one I watched was Jeff Jarrett making fun of Dusty Rhodes with the ass with the Dusty's ass on it. I remember
No
that
shit.
clearly.
You could watch it online. You could watch a real player stream of Nitro.
Yeah, live stream, and
That's
this
crazy.
this is how I watched like Kensuke Sasaki versus Toshiaki Kawada live at the Tokyo Dome.
That's fucking sick.
I forgot what these websites, but like it was on like the forums on like Pro Wrestling Fan. They'd be like, "Here's the real play link. Here you go." And like I guess they broadcast it from wherever the person in Japan had like the feed, and then they put the feed
Yeah.
on the thing, and then
Yeah, they've had like the TV Asahi fucking feed or whatever.
yeah, and
And
then
yeah.
yeah, that's how I linked porno to pro wrestling with real players.
Well,
Um,
hold on. Okay, let me ask you this because like you said this and it got me kind of like on my own question.
yeah,
So, what was your first like you're a poster at heart.
yeah,
Like you are a posting elemental.
yes,
So I know you have time on the internet and you were forged in the fires of like maybe message boards and things like that.
yeah.
What was your site? Like let's say you're a young doc, maybe like 13, 14 years old. Like
I
what
was
was did you have like a pro wrestling site that you went to and what was it?
I was on the RSPW boards long time ago.
RSPW?
Yeah, those are
Okay.
like the some of the original boards, like because like you go online, you go into the chat rooms, and
Hmm.
so I go into like wrestling chat rooms, and then they go to RSPW.
Hmm.
That goes on to like you look up stuff like Scoops Troops. You
Okay.
see those signs all the time, and then like there's this guy who had like a hotline. He was called Sushi X. He also was a guy that
Sushi
had
X.
yeah. He had like
Yes.
a call and you get like the messages,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
also he had like a mobile website, like one of those like ancient like online phone because on your cell phone used to be able to get like a screen and kind of go online-ish and read
Hmm.
like I used to do that to read wrestling news because I was that much of a loser.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same, it's fine.
it's fine. And then like I kind of like the first stuff I did was like there's this website called Gaming Ring that was just like it was pro wrestling video game website like video pro
Uh-huh.
wrestling games and thing and then from there I found DVDR and
Yeah.
like the place where I really did most of my posting and like got influenced by other people was 41mania.com had forums
401 Mania. Yeah.
and that's where I really got my sense of humor because like you had like people who watched MMA, people making. There was Sir Leoto was there, like that's where he was posting first. That's
Hmm.
where I first saw him. He was making gifs all the way back then, and like people all had like this kind of it's early 2000s, so that sense of humor is like everybody's goofy, everybody is just like talking weed, everybody is like talking
Right.
about it's just you're fucking around and like it's a good time.
Hmm.
Whereas now you go on and everybody's taking themselves so seriously. And I'm
Right.
happy you brought this up because like I think like wrestling itself is inherently a silly thing.
Absolutely.
Also, MMA is inherently silly. And also, the other
Yes.
place I went to was the Sherdog forums.
Hmm.
And
Oh shit. Okay.
that place was problematic as hell, but
That's
also fun.
true.
It was fun. It was fun to
Yep, it was
post
very
there.
funny. Yeah.
Um, I did go on bodybuilding.com, but
Oh,
that
yes, I have too. Yes.
yeah,
We
because I
have
was
we have so much shared history, Doc. Like, cause like Sherdog now, like I went to the Sherdog forums like
yeah,
not recently, but like probably like the last couple years. So I was like, what does it look like? It's bad. Like you can't even. It's just all like you said, all the humor's gone. Like now it's just a bunch
yeah,
of fucking Nazi edge lords, and you're like, whatever.
yeah,
It's like used to you'd always have that like undercurrent of that shit because they're always trying to like get
get
in
one
any
over.
space they
Yeah,
can.
yeah,
But it's like it'd be surrounded by just as many people who are like, fuck that shit and are just funny posters that you're like, yeah, bodybuilding.com is also like they're such a rich treasure trove of like Excellent posts and
Yeah,
threads in that place, man.
I love that, man. I love.
Truly sick freaks that I love.
Oh man, it's so fun going through that thing. And hold on. Yeah, man. Talking about like my history, I want to know about your history.
As a poster?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, because like we were talking about like wrestling forums, because like I knew you had to have like gotten that shit. So like this is gonna be a thing because like I will say this, like I'm a late stage poster, honestly. Like I think
mm,
I when I was a very young, I think you said you had AOL. I had
yeah.
Juno, which was
Oh,
our thing, which
you and
actually
Meltzer.
were me and Meltzer, exactly. Everyone jokes about that, like Juno.com. I'm like, my fucking first email account was a Juno.com account. Um,
Speaking of Dave, stay tuned.
mhm. What?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay. All right, Doc. All right, Doc. But so my first like I was a GeoCities kid. Like I had like
Yeah,
a GeoCities website.
you and Josh
But
Barnett.
huh?
You and Josh Barnett.
Oh really? Did he have a GeoCities?
So his GeoCities was like a bunch of like little animated wrestlers, and he talked
Mm-hmm.
about his love of Japanese pro wrestling.
That's fucking awesome.
I remember I found it back like in 98, 97 because like he was coming up in UFC and I searched him on like the school computer and then that's the website
Yeah,
that showed up. Like a
that's
tripod or
crazy.
GeoCities and like I was like, oh, okay, he's a nerd. Cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go back to you, GeoCities boy.
Oh yeah, no. So it's like, well, that's like where I started. So it's like there was like back in the day, there was like GeoCities community chat, which was
Yeah.
like kind of like wherever you were, like wherever your webpage was located, like you met some people or whatever. But I remember the first website that I got into, like super with wrestling, because like you mentioned like 401 and all that stuff. And I think like DVDR was a little bit before my time. Like maybe it
Yeah.
existed, but I never found it.
Yeah.
Um,
Bunch of
my
50-year-olds
shit
now, man.
though, my shit, lords of
Lords of
pain.net.
Pain. Oh my God. Yeah, I was
Mr.
on that.
Tito, brother.
Mr. Tito. Oh my God. I was on Lords of Pain and I was on No DQ also.
Hey, Doc.
What's up?
I was a columnist on lordsofpain.net.
Hey, yo. I
I had a
probably
column. I will never fuck because I don't think I certainly was not Brent&Roses at the time. It's long lost to the internet, so I've checked this shit that I'm like, I
yeah.
need to make sure that you can never find this about me.
Yeah.
But like, I did write. I think it was very short lived because I was only like 12 years old and they didn't care. But like, I had I think two or three like weekly quote unquote like posts on that shit, like an actual like you click on the fucking like here's the like whatever like what like the weekly kind of like
Yeah.
posts by like a
Yeah.
person or whatever. I was
Yeah.
one of those motherfuckers, okay?
Yo.
And I'm never gonna say that again in my life, but yeah,
Exclusive.
lordsofpain.net, brother. And that's how I learned about ECW, and that's how
Yeah.
I did learn about Japan. Talking about Real Player, I remember that I heard about Mick Foley and why his ear was all fucked up was because
Oh
of like
yeah.
the barbed wire match. And I remember watching that shit on a Real Player video, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy how they used to be. And I remember like looking at ECW, like seeing like the Raven like crucifix angle and shit. And I was like, it felt so weird. Like it felt purer and dirtier, like to watch that shit on a Real Player link because like the video quality was so bad
Yeah. You
that like
felt
it felt like you were really looking at like forbidden
yeah,
knowledge,
it
you
felt
know?
like you were watching something you weren't supposed to, and that's why it felt cool to watch
Exactly.
it. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. It's just oh man, you're opening up
Yeah.
all these like floodgates of memories, and I'm back to being like a 13,
I'm 12 years old
7th,
again, man. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
sixth grader me, just like trying to like think about like oh man, Bret Hart is so cool now that he's cursing up and all that stuff. Or oh man, I wonder what new guy is gonna show up on WCW now.
I
'Cause like
remember looking at a list. I found a website of when I was like a little kid. Because like, oh, look, I'll say this right now. There's some very respectable people online who are like, they get really into the psychology of wrestling, where it's like,
yeah,
look, it's about how you sell and it's can you do a worked punch and whatever. And like, that's fine. That's fine. I'm a fucking moves guy. All right. Like
hell
I've
yeah,
always been drop yourself on your head, do some fucking flips. Like that's what I like. And I'm open with that and proud of it. Okay.
that's
Um,
That's cool,
Right.
man. Like, why did we play the video games? Did we play the video games to grab a
Yeah,
hold
why
and
did
rip
I
the
play
heat?
fucking WrestleMania 2000? Why did I play WCW NWO Revenge? Like,
Yeah.
I make my custom guy. He does the fucking Steiner screwdriver because that's the sickest shit I've ever seen. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
you go vertical suplex into a fucking inverted tombstone, brother. That fucking broke Stone Cold's neck, man. Like
Yeah.
that shit's sick to me.
Yeah,
But
man.
I remember looking. I found a web page, Web 1.0 days of like just a list of fucking wrestling moves. Like it was almost like a pre-Wikipedia, but
Oh,
it was just moves. And
you know,
I'm a DDT guy. Like
yeah,
I think the DDT is the most like perfect wrestling move.
yeah,
Just because you just drop a motherfucker on his head. And I'm
yeah,
like, it's the best move ever. Like I was a big Jake the Snake guy when I was a kid. I was like, that's sick. He just drops him.
yeah,
And then I remember I was like, I love pile drivers. I've always loved people basically risking to break their neck.
yeah,
But I remember the first time I ever saw the word spider, meaning like the fucking like weird like turnbuckle shit,
yeah,
was like on like this one website where it's like a spider pile driver or something like that, where it's like someone like flipped back and pile drove someone by doing a spider thing off the fucking turnbuckles. And I
yeah,
was like, that's the sickest shit I've ever like my brain couldn't comprehend it. So I remember being like a 12-year-old kid frantically searching for any clips or gifs or whatever I could find of
yeah,
like what does a spider tombstone look like until I finally found some like grainy shit from some Japanese fucking wrestling federation where
yeah.
someone hit that shit and it blew my mind.
Probably wasn't Michinoku Pro where they did the flippy shit.
Probably. Yeah,
Um,
it probably was.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like, man, I want to tell you this because so a lot of that move listing, right, you're talking about, it
Uh-huh.
actually comes from the game Fire Pro, Fire
Yeah.
Pro X Premium. And
Mm-hmm.
so like the guy who wrote the fact for that and wrote down all the moves, you know who that was?
Mm-mm.
Excalibur. Excalibur!
No shit.
Yes.
That's funny. Actually, it probably was an FAQ, man. Like it probably was like a wrestling move FAQ where it's like
Yeah.
any move you want to know about, here's where it is.
The funny part is Mauro Ranallo
That's
actually,
Excalibur. That's fucking
yeah,
crazy.
that's Excalibur. Mauro Ranallo talks about like he found that and he printed it
Mm-hmm.
out when he started with Stampede.
We
So
started
like
calling.
when he
Yeah.
started calling, he printed out that list so that he would know like all like a whole giant list of moves.
That's so fucking awesome.
So
Dude, Excalibur actually is probably like a dude that it's like, I forget, like, I think about people in wrestling who was like, who could I have a beer with? You know what I mean? Like,
oh
because I
dude,
think most of you people are crazy and I
X
would not be able to relate to them at all. I do think Excalibur is a guy that
yeah,
I could like really pick his fucking brain and like
yeah.
come out a
He,
better person for it, you
he is
know?
so like every time I would go to like a PWG or like I go early, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
like one of the dudes that like would just he'd sit and talk because like he also played like Street Fighter, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like we talk like we talk Street Fighter. He'd talk about like going to the arcade, like because this was
Yeah.
like in the 2000s, so he'd still like be like talking about like getting his reps in for Street Fighter or whatever. And like he's just a really nice guy. He loves video games. He loves pro wrestling. Normal dude. He used to work for Vivid Video as an editor. So he
Really?
would, yeah, he would like edit out like butt pimples or like beauty marks.
Now this
And
is the kind of lore I can get behind.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
with Excalibur, you got like him at Vivid, you got him making the fact for Fire Pro X, Super Fire Pro X Premium, and and being like one of a really cool guy, a really cool guy. I liked him. I like him. He's really cool. He was really cool with me. Um, Jungle Boy wasn't really cool with me when I was there earlier, but I used to go to PWG since like 2003 all the way to
Mm-hmm.
like 2014, and like it's just like that for me. That's like my home indie promotion. Like I didn't
Yeah, that's fucking
know,
sick, man. Like you were like in the prime years.
yeah, I didn't know anything about Ring of Honor, right? So I knew
Mm-hmm.
Joe and I knew Danielson and I knew Punk and Chris Hero all from like them coming to PWG and working it.
Yeah.
And for me, like the style there was like more like loose. You've seen this like YouTube. It's a comedy federation,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
like just like to have them come there or like sometimes TNA guys like AJ Styles would come in, and then like instead of like in TNA he wouldn't sell, he'd just be doing all these moves that are cool. I love, but
Hmm.
he comes in PWG, him and Frankie Kazarian have like 5-star match, like whereas they're on TNA they have like 7 minutes and they can't sell, so they just do all the
Right.
moves they can
Yeah.
do. And
Yeah.
then I'm just like, yeah, this is the wrestling for me, and that's where I became a fan of all these guys. And to
Hmm.
see like AJ, Brian, Joe, Punk, Steen, Generico, freaking Nigel, all the guys
Did
from
Punk
Dragon.
do PWG?
Yeah, Nigel did PWG.
No, I said Punk.
Punk, he was like in the first. I was there when he made his PWG debut because he was
No
there like
shit.
2004 when they used to run Frankensons, which
Oh,
was the
like
Swamp
real,
Meet.
like old back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
old
yeah,
back in the day. Like he was right there at the beginning. Like him, TJP when TJP basically was still a high schooler, or like he just
yeah.
graduated or something. It's like you just like Rocky Romero is there, and like I saying all these names, and like we see all these guys on
On
TV,
TV now. Yeah,
and like
that's
whether
sick, man. That you got to like see like an indie where these guys grew up.
yeah, and it's like it's just like I like Pac. Oh man, Pac used to be the skinniest, like weirdest looking guy,
Yeah.
and now like he's like my idol as far as body guys go.
Oh, he's
It's like
incredible, man.
oh man, those thighs and those abs and like his silhouette.
It's crazy that he's so bulky, but he still keeps the pack. You know,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
his deal. Like
That's why he's
that
Pac.
motherfucker's abs are always on point.
Yeah, I remember X used to call him Pac Lesnar when because he came in PWG, right? He was a skinny guy, and then like he
Hmm.
did like one of their because they did European shows and he was on them, and then they
Hmm.
bring him back after he goes to Dragon Gate, and then Dragon Gate Pac looks like modern day Pac, and like he goes Pac Lesnar, and because like it's true, like he's so compact and he gives off
He's
big
like a
man
mini.
energy.
He's like a fridge. It's like Brock is a fridge. He's a mini fridge because he's like a little bit smaller, but like same body type. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and it's
he's
yeah,
still a
man.
cube
Yeah, he's
of just muscle.
and you when you see him go heads up with like with Claudio, it
Yeah.
doesn't look out of place for him to like suplex him
Oh,
or something.
yeah. That
Whereas like
motherfucker hit a German out of nowhere, and you're like, "Yep, makes sense."
you see like
Because now look at him.
You saw Adam Cole next to Claudio, and it's just like, oh, these are two different human
What the
beings.
fuck are we doing?
What
Yeah.
is
Or
this?
and you
Oh
remember? Okay,
man,
like you remember though? Like you remember? I was thinking about this today. Just like randomly, it came in my head. Like Jonathan Gresham, like when he
yeah,
had like that brief, when ROH got bought by AW or by
yeah,
Tony Khan, and like they had that title match, and
yeah,
like it was just like looking at Jonathan Gresham, who is like also like a muscle freak, like just like an absolute specimen of a guy.
yeah.
Like him standing next to Claudio, it's just weird how with Gresham it didn't work, but like with Pac it would work.
Yeah,
That it's like it
it's
looked insane to see like Jonathan Gresham next to Claudio, whereas like with Pac, and I literally don't know what it is
yeah.
because it's like
It's
just
this.
using that reference point, like Jonathan Gresham just looked insane. Versus with Pac, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, it's fine,
Yeah, because they're Pac and Claudio have had so many matches against each other, right?
Yeah,
I like there's
just
that GIF.
believe it, I guess.
Yeah, and then there's that GIF of like Pac just flipping off Claudio and leaving for
Don't say
that
GIF, say GIF,
the
brother.
GIF.
It's GIF.
Sorry, the GIF versus GIF.
I'm
Okay,
staking my fucking. I'm planting my flag. It's GIF. Fuck
okay.
you.
All right, man. I'm not gonna fight you. I want
Mm.
peace. All I want is peace.
All peace, all
I
good.
just
We're
want peace.
good.
So like the GIF, right?
Yeah,
The GIF like is like I was gonna say X Pac. Pac like looks at Claudio, flips him off, and he's looking jacked as fuck, and he just walks away. And like
yeah.
he gives off like big man energy, whereas Gresham is like he's pumped full of air, and like
Hmm.
his muscles are so big, and there's no like symmetry to him.
Yeah,
So he just looks like a big ball.
I think that. Yeah, I think you're right. That there's a difference between like Pac's muscles are like he's obviously super jacked.
Yeah,
It's like there's like the always like there's like the Joe Rogan like UFC commentator thing about like show muscles versus go muscles.
yeah,
And like Pac still is believable as go muscles, where it's like something about Gresham is a little more show where it doesn't work. He's a little too buff, you
yeah.
know?
Cause
Deflate
like
a little, brother. Like let the air out, just
yeah,
just a tad.
like cause I see like Shelton and Bobby on AEW, right?
Yeah,
They look like monsters, but they're so
specimens. Yeah.
but they're specimens. It's like so like however the muscles distributed on them, it looks like it's crazy. It's crazy. They got fast twitch muscles, to quote the
Not
logo.
to interrupt you here, Doc, but like working this way back into our conversation, like talking about we were talking about Osprey earlier and about like
Yeah,
how the sound of things and like how like
yeah,
moves look.
yeah.
Shelton Benjamin, that fucking pump kick that he does, like
Oh,
that's his like show fucking
yeah.
spot where he just drops some motherfucker with a kick. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about,
I
where
I
it's like
I love his super kick, man.
it's so good
Yeah, he's been doing
every
that.
time.
Yeah, like since 2004. Like if you
Yeah.
compare his shit to like Shawn Michaels or Stevie Richards or Glacier,
Yeah.
you like his
No,
shit
man.
looks.
You
It's
said
so
Glacier.
fucking.
Yeah.
It's so fucking sick how he hits like
It's
he.
how he throws his body into it, I think
Yeah,
is what it is. It's like when you're a guy, like, you know, the Bucks do super kicks and like it's very much like it's like a Johnny Cage Mortal Kombat kind of super
yeah,
kick, right? Where it's
yeah,
very much like we are going from and I assume this is a podcast so no one can see me, but like it's like you grab your hips, you throw your leg out, and it's like whatever.
yeah,
Shelton like ducks down and throws his shit at such an angle where you're like
yeah,
you can see the torque of it in a way that feels realer than anyone else's
yeah.
super kick. You know
I'm
what I
gonna. Yeah, I'm
mean?
gonna go at this with like a fight science kind of thing. So,
Sure.
like, as a Taekwondo practitioner myself, um,
Absolutely.
the sidekick,
What belt rank? What belt you at?
second degree black belt. So,
Holy.
yeah, I got
You
tortured.
could whip my ass, man.
Um, no, I can't anymore. I'm too old. I try to do something, and something's gonna happen. Um,
Sure.
and like
Sure.
I just, I do miss the mat. I miss the mat so much.
Yeah.
Because when you're on your back, everybody's the same size.
That's
Uh,
true. I never got to tell you my big guy. Sorry. I'm sorry, Doc. I have to circle back because I meant to tell you the big guy jujitsu story.
yeah,
Because you were saying like when you were like doing jujitsu, you were like you said you were like 300 pounds.
yeah,
I just remember like being I'm only a white belt. Like I never got a belt, so like
that's
I'm a absolute novice. But
yeah.
I did this shit for like like 9 months to a year or whatever.
Uh,
I just remember I rolled with a guy. We were doing free roll one day
yeah,
at the dojo, and this motherfucker came up and he was a purple belt. Okay,
mhm,
this guy was a fucking sphere. Like as a man, like he was just a perfect spheroid. Like he was just a big guy, but he had a purple belt. And I was
mhm.
like,
We're talking the
okay.
kingpin, huh?
He was, I mean, look. So we go and I'm a white belt, so he's toying with me. He's like doing the like he's trying to do like I think spider guard or some shit
Yeah,
where it's like he basically flops back. Like he does the flop. He's like he pulls guard. He's like let's like I'm gonna go on my back. Like fuck with me. And I'm like okay. So I'm like trying to remember what I learned like in this day's class. And I'm like grabbing. So he's like grabbing my gi like the wrist. Like
yeah,
he's fucking with my gi. Like where it's like this whole thing is like built on him like grabbing my collar or like
mhm,
my wrist or whatever. And I just remember he's just spinning on his back. And because he's a perfect sphere, he can like he's just pivoting in this weird way that like defies science to me because there's no friction. Because it's like to me, if I'm on my back, like I've got to worry about my hips and my bones and my shoulder, like the friction that it creates. He's
yeah,
like, nope. He just has like a perfect tiny pivot on his perfect spheroid form. And he's just like grabbing my shit. And I just remember that I all I try to do is like pass guard. Like I'm just trying to like whatever, like push the leg down, whatever. He knows what I'm doing because he's a purple belt, so he's
yeah.
very experienced. He automatically sweeps me, flips me, whatever. He's very strong, and he in one fell swoop like puts me down on the ground below him, and
Dude,
he comes down, dude. And I'll never forget this. Like he comes down, I'm on the ground. He puts his forearm like on my neck to like
mm,
basically like take top position and like fucking get me.
Yeah.
I feel every vertebrae from like
Pop.
my mid back up to my skull pop because he puts his forearm like right here and all of his weight comes down on my neck. And I've never in my life feared that I was paralyzed like more than that point because it hit something that I felt like a heat go through me where I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, I'm
You.
dead.
Oh man.
And then I mean he tapped me out like immediately. He fucking
Yeah.
like then passed like arm triangle, whatever I tapped, and I was like, get the fuck off me, man. I had to like leave the mat for a minute because I was like, I was so shook that
Yeah.
I was like, because he like literally like he popped some deep vertebrae that
Yeah.
I was like, I've never felt this in my fucking life. And I was so scared that I was like, I gotta get off the mat for a minute, man. That guy beat my ass.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
that sorry, I've been waiting to tell that story for like an hour, so now we're done. Okay, thank you.
I'm so mad now hearing that. Purple belt should not treat a white belt like that.
He fucked me up,
Um,
man.
I'm gonna finish my Shelton thing, but I'll
I'd
tell
shout
you,
his name out if I could, like if I could shame him, but I don't remember his name.
we don't treat white belts like that, and that's fucking asshole behavior. That's bullying,
Yeah,
and that's not cool. That's not cool with me.
yeah,
To quote, Carlito, Caribbean cool. That's not cool.
that's not
Um,
cool.
yeah, but so I'm gonna tell the Shelton, then I'll tell you my story.
Okay,
So Shelton drops his shoulder, his hips are
yeah.
back. He readies himself. So like
Hmm.
it's like he's gonna sprint, and then at the right moment he gets the hip movement, tucks in his kick, and like
Yep,
shoots it out.
yep.
And like the guy doesn't have, and like we were talking about that thunk. He hits everybody like in the chest so they get a thunk. And if they don't
Hmm.
go flying, they're going to feel it. So that's why you see
Hmm.
guys do the flip cell for it. Even if it
Yep.
doesn't make sense, they're going with the momentum because if you don't and you just eat it,
You
that's
just
gonna
eat
shatter
it.
your
Yeah.
ribs. That's
Right.
gonna shatter your ribs. So like it's really one of the best kicks in pro wrestling and I love it. I love Shelton.
I
Shelton
agree.
Benjamin. He's
Yeah.
he's so yeah, he's so cool. Him and Lashley, I like them. They're almost 50 or about to be
They
50
are
and
50.
they are 50 and they still
Yeah.
look like they look better than they did 20 years ago.
It's
You know how
crazy.
insane that is?
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah. Our Truths too, he looks good as hell. Like he's 53
Yeah.
and I don't MVP doesn't
Let's see.
count.
Shelton is 49.
Yeah,
Bobby Lashley. Sorry, I got to get this straight. Bobby is 48. So, yeah, you're right. They're almost 50.
almost 50. I'll tell my story about
Ron
okay.
Truth is, Ron Killings, our Truth is 53.
Yeah,
I call him Ron Truth. My ass
Ron
said
Truth.
Ron Truth.
Oh man, I'm gonna try to work that into one of my AKAs.
Ron Truth.
Yeah, Ron Truth, aka Ron Truth.
Because you're,
Um,
like, one of your nicknames is Ron, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I'm gonna tell this story. So I practice MMA and I practice jiu-jitsu for like off and on like 11 years since 2010, 11-ish.
Yeah.
So do you remember Metamoris?
Metamoros?
Yeah. So like
Yeah, yeah.
there was like this like they were doing grappling competitions, putting them on pay-per-view kind of thing like this.
Yeah, yeah.
So guess who steps in to train for that into our gym? Um, I'm just there, like we're in our no-gi session, so whatever. We're just like doing our drills, and then who pops in? Shinya Aoki.
No shit.
So Shinya Aoki, really nice guy. Hi, hi, yes. He's kind of tallish, 6 foot. He has big hands. His hands are big. So
Really?
when you shake his hands, they like kind of like, yeah, dude, he has big
Warp your
hands.
hands?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I have big hands too, so it was kind of weird to hear feel someone way skinnier than me kind of like wrap my hand for a handshake.
Mm-hmm.
And so my coach, he gives like people's nickname, right? And because I don't wear my glasses when I roll, he would always call me, "Hey, Samurai." Hey, yeah, nice to see you, Samurai. Right? And though, so like Shinya Yoki comes in, he's like, "Hey, Samurai, come here, meet Shinya. He's a good guy." And then like did you know this guy? I call him Samurai because he never gives up. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god, please,
Yeah.
please don't do this, please. I
With
was like,
Shinya Aoki, who like famously like, broke a motherfucker's arm. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
hello
yeah,
Japan, man. This is coming off of
yeah.
Hello Japan, and I'm like, oh. I was like, nice to meet you, sir. It's really nice to meet you. It's a big honor. And he's like, okay, nice. Okay, yeah, good, strong. You strong, because by then I already dropped weight, so I was like 250 solid. I was going to the gym like every freaking day that then.
Sure.
But so like on that day, he like, Samurai, come over here. Why don't you give him a? Why don't you just like give him some, give a see how you see where you're at. And I'm like, see where I'm at, and with Shinya Aoki.
With Shinya Aoki.
With
Yeah.
Shinya Aoki, this guy who has so many broken arms, broken legs in his
Yeah.
thing, just fucking around. Like he'll flip the guy off after it too, and I'm like,
That's
so he
classic fucking clip, man. Classic.
breaks the arm, flipped them off, laughing.
Just
Like,
the double bird, man. Just like
yeah,
fuck you,
yeah,
like
he,
sick.
he
Yeah.
deserved it. So like,
Yeah.
we roll. He goes back and goes, come on, come on, come on, come on. And then like, okay, I'm in his guard. And like, so then like he gets me up, like the guy holds you up with his feet, doing like a helicopter thing. So imagine
Mm.
me like I'm 250. He was holding me up with his legs, like completely, completely like just I'm like a baby. There's no chance. And then like he's just doing a helicopter spin. So I'm like spinning, and he just kept me in the air. And then like and I'm just like, oh God, what's he gonna do? And then
Uh,
like he like puts it, and then like he gets my back because he flips me around, gets my back, gets me in the side control, and then he goes around, and then he gets me like he's gonna do the arm bar, and like I tap right away because I'm like
you're right.
scared because like
Yeah.
he like goes he like flips me up, and then like, oh, arm bar, like tap 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 tap. Okay, okay,
Just like
thank you,
rapidly
thank
tapping.
you, just like tapping like
Yeah.
so
I
fast, like
don't want to know where this goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then like I never felt so small in my life.
Yeah.
Cause like,
That's the shit. Like when you're dealing like a real pro,
yeah,
that like you think you're awesome, right? Like you
yeah,
think it's like, because like I remember like doing jujitsu, and it's like as a white belt, like there were times where even like it's like if I went with like a fucking purple or brown or whatever belt, like I would immediately be humble. Like there was no chance that I could ever do anything. But like with a blue belt, like occasionally I could be like, I know I'm like a strong guy. I've got like a good, like I've got strong legs. Like I could base in a way that it's like you can't fuck with me, and I maybe like would overpower a little bit. But like I remember there was a black belt in my dojo that was just like he humbled me in such a way that like he was much smaller than I was. But like just that skill to like when I would move a certain way, I knew he was thinking 2 steps ahead, and he would just like slip and snake around me. And I'm like, he put me in a fucking rear naked, and I was this was early on in my time because this was a free roll. And I was like, I'm a white belt versus a black belt. And I'm like, he put me in a rear naked, and I just remember I was like, I'm gonna find a way out of this. You know what I mean? So I'm digging my fingers in. I'm like, ugh. And I just remember that was the first time I ever actually saw like what it looks like to go out,
you
where
saw
it's
the
like
white,
your vision, like
it it
it
narrows.
becomes the television screen that you're
Yeah,
looking at from like 20 feet away. And I finally was like, I'm dead, you
yeah,
know? I do want to say this shout out to a guy. I just remembered him at on Instagram.com/ the Black Spider-Man was one of the guys that I trained with, who's like one of the most like physical specimens I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, I think that's him. Anyway, that's I knew what he goes by, but he was very good in competition. And this was a
fact.
dude who like came in, he was shredded, like just fucking abs popping, pecs out, and I think he was a brown belt when I trained with him, but like
Yo,
that dude was like really fucking talented, but also he was the guy that when I rolled with him and he beat my ass like handily, like no question, I didn't do shit to him. Where I was like, oh, this is the thing where like real jujitsu practitioners never wash their fucking gis and it
Oh,
stinks
it's
really bad.
it's real stinky.
And I got very used to that shit where I'm like, this sweat smell. Because he was like surfboarding me, like he was like putting all his weight on me. And I was like,
Uh,
I know this guy probably weighs like 20 pounds less than I do. But the way when
More.
you're good, you know how to like distribute your
Yeah.
weight to where like it was so oppressive on me. Where I'm like, I'm on my back, he's on top, he's like fucking pressing into me, and I'm like, I can't fucking breathe, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to like desperately grab for like his collar or whatever. And I'm like, I'm scared because I know like the minute I give an arm, he's gonna fucking snap that shit and like swivel on his hips and turn into a fucking arm bar. My white belt ass. I'm gonna be like, I'm done.
You know,
But like that guy was always impressive to me. So like I literally looked him up just now and I was like, I want to give him a shout out as a guy who like I remember being like a fucking white belt and as people who like impressed me where I was like to know like what it is to be really good at this shit, I was like, I want to be this guy. That
yeah.
he was like so fucking good. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm gonna shout out my coaches, Steven Martinez, Georgie Karakanian. They taught me so much, and I appreciate them because they gave me confidence in myself where I didn't have that anymore
Oh
because of
yeah.
the big weight. I love tapping out guys in side control. My
Mm-hmm.
trick was you put your because this is what Georgie showed me. Okay, you slide your hand up the center of their back, you get a full side control, and you put your
Mm-hmm.
chest and you put your hips to their hip, and you raise them up with your hand, and you just let the air out that goes like, and that's how I love to tap people out with just side control because like there's no holes there. There's not I'm not
That's
reaching for your
crazy.
arm.
Yeah, from side
You're
control. That's
you're just
nuts.
you're just suffocating a guy. Um, one of the guys to bring this back to wrestling, one of the guys I used to train with like weekly, nightly was Scorpio Sky in Gi.
No
Um,
shit.
yeah, he is so handsome. You have no
Shout out
idea.
to him. Hope he's doing well.
Yeah, you know, he's on that 2030 deal. So
Mm-hmm.
he's making money.
Yeah.
Good shout outs to him. Make that money,
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
Scorpio's guy.
Yeah, just be a handsome dude, just do your thing.
Exactly.
He's really good. He was really good, really athletic. Really, he's just so handsome, man. It's unbelievable how handsome he was. Um,
Uh
and like another guy I used to train with was like Lorenz Tate. Really good fighter. He never showed like his real jujitsu skills like in UFC or Bellator, but he was really good. And I remember watching him spar one time, just
mm-hmm.
doing kickboxing sparring, and it's like, do you ever watch anime?
Some, but not
Okay,
like regularly
okay,
anymore.
like that thing like in Dragon Ball where like their eyes can't follow anything, like
Yeah.
they're too fast to
I
follow.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like that's how it was like watching him spar because like he's like
Mm,
one,
yeah.
two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight.
Like he just
What
moves so
just happened?
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're like, what just happened here? Oh, we are not the same kind of person. We are not the
Right.
same.
You're on a different level than
You're
I
on a
am.
whole different thing, and I'm just here to enjoy and just watch this stuff. Because like
Yeah.
being in that position where you're like you're definitely the lesser, weaker person, and you can't handle them. You just
Hmm.
like it's good to be humbled, It's good to feel like
It is.
yeah,
It is.
because sometimes people go through life and feeling like they can like they're invincible. Nobody can step to them. And then like you go to the gym, you try to like bully people like that guy bullied you, and then like some other guy sees that happen, and usually that happened in our gym. Some guy would try to bully some other guy, and then the next round up they get choked out because and then they're
Yeah.
gonna get choked out because they refuse to tap.
Yeah.
And then that guy kind of just
They
like
get checked like
yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. I remember one time I was rolling with this dude, this big buff guy, and he was bouncing my head off with like a freaking basketball off the mat, and I'm just like holding him
Hmm.
like, oh, what? Okay, okay, I'm holding him like in like close guard, and then just like, okay, oh nope, there's my head, and then
Yeah.
I just remember like, okay, this sucks, so I sweep him, and then I just like put my chin in his eyeball and just like
Yeah.
And I just like, okay, yeah, that's enough of that. And because like, I gave him my body to like trust. You got
Right,
my
yeah,
body,
like,
and
yeah, exactly.
we all got to go to work in the morning. What the hell is this? So
Exactly. Like as a novice, like you understand, like I know you're gonna beat my ass, but like there's gotta be like a respect to like don't
yeah,
fuck me up. Like
yeah, we're all on the same team here, buddy. It's not.
yeah.
This
I'm
is
still
not.
learning the basics, brother. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then we're all in the same dojo. Like just
yeah,
like chill out. Yeah.
yeah. So like when you go in there with like a guy that's a Division 2 wrestler and he knows how to control his body and he knows like to take it easy on you,
Hmm.
I'd rather go with the wrestlers than with the guys who came in like super athletes from doing football because those guys are just
For
gonna
sure. Yeah,
charge at you and
they're just gonna beast mode you. Like they're
yeah,
just gonna be like because they don't actually care about like the
yeah,
technique, you know.
yeah. Trying to beast out of an armbar and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna go wrong for you, man.
You
Because like
can't.
like I had an armbar on the guy. He tried to like slam page me. I'm like, I am 250 pounds and
Right.
I got this all the way locked up under my armpit. You better tap. If you slam me, I'm gonna break your fucking arm. And luckily, like I'm just thinking about this, right? Like I just like, okay, if he slams me, this arm's gonna break. I hope he's
Mm.
feeling this, but like adrenaline and stuff. And he's like, huh, huh, lift. Oh, too heavy, too heavy, too heavy. Tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
I'm
Tap
like,
tap tap tap.
smart,
Yeah.
smart. I'm like, smart, dude. I was like, telling him, dude, if you would have slammed me, you would have broken your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought, because like, people see this stuff and they'll be like, oh, I could do Rampage Jackson. I could do,
Exactly. Exactly. They can do the rampage slam. It's like, no, you can't, brother.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. You
It's
shouldn't
funny to me
also.
because like just as like a white belt, like I would just tell my friends, like just like in normal, like, hey, what have you been doing? I'm like, I have been doing jujitsu or whatever, and they're like, I had a couple friends who were like, I could beat your ass, and it's like the best thing
Okay.
is like with jujitsu is like when you're in jujitsu, like
Yeah,
when you've done a little bit, like you understand immediately how humbled, like you get humbled quick.
yeah,
That it's like you learn a little bit, and you're like the guys who really know this shit, like it's fucked up. But even as like a halfway white belt, you're like once you learn a little bit, you're like, oh, I can like most people that are normies, like I can probably like tap them out. You know what I mean? Like when you learn a
yeah,
little bit. So there were all these dudes. I would go to people's houses or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, you think you're good?" I'm like, "No, but like I've learned a little bit." And they're like, "Well, you want to roll right now?" I'm like, "Sure, let's go." And like I would just I these are like guys I've known since like high school that are like be like, "Let's roll," and I'm like, "Okay." And I just fucking like I can tap them out like pretty quickly, and like
yeah.
they're so mad about it, and I'm like,
You're cheating.
no, I took classes, man. Like it's like I don't think I'm cool, but it's like you don't know anything about this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And that's like the
it's,
weirdest shit to like do where you're not trying to like stunt on people, but it's like they get mad at you just for saying you took a jujitsu class. And it's like, no, like you probably can't actually like tap me out because like I know how to like move or whatever. And they're like,
yeah,
well, let's go. And then they don't know that like when they're fucking moving like and like fidgeting, you're like, that's what this whole shit is about is like moving, like using momentum against someone. And
yeah,
so it's like then you flip them and you like fucking put them in an arm triangle or whatever, and they're like, what the fuck? And you're like, yeah, man. And then they get mad about it. You're like, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Like, you're the one that got fucking bent out of shape about it.
yeah.
I don't know.
I think JP told the story on the Laps fan where he got in a fight and he stomped when he threw a punch.
Uh-huh.
That's the equivalent of the guy because
He
they
did
think
like,
they say it on TV. Yeah, they see
yeah,
it on TV and think it'll work, and then it doesn't work because
yeah.
you're not the guy on TV doing that. And man, uh, okay, I'm
What I'll say
getting
what I'll say about JP and the Labs fan is the best thing that I agree with them on is like more people should say Haas like when they like
yes,
slap a whole like Haas. We need more Husses in like modern
yeah,
wrestling. That's
yeah,
something that's like sorely
yeah.
lacking.
I remember Hulk Hogan would go ashaho, ashaho, and then like
Yeah.
Haku would go like ashaho,
Mm-hmm.
ashaho, and then Mick Foley goes asha, asha, asha. Yeah, we need more of that.
Yeah. We
We
need
need
more of
more of
that
that.
shit, man. We need more like big outbursts of sound.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that'd be great, you know. And um, hey man, who's your favorite wrestlers?
Uh, well, my all time is Randy Savage, Macho Man.
Mm.
I mean, from my youngest days, just like the personality. Now, look, was he a little fucked up? Yeah, I've watched a lot of documentaries. Personally, can't vouch for the guy, but in terms of a worker, in terms of like having like the like the thing like the voice, like he's just so iconic. And a really solid bell to bell worker. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's to me, it's Macho Man Randy Savage, like no doubt,
You had
no
lust in
question.
your eyes for her Hulkster.
You got lust in your eyes, Hogan. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
You've got jealous eyes. That kind of shit. But like he brought that shit into like he was in Dexter's Laboratory, like
I
as a
loved
voice
him.
actor.
I loved
He
him on
was he
that
was
on was it Ghost Space Ghost Coast to Coast? He was
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
yeah,
Yes, like
he
he
was
was a
brought
guy
that
that I
in.
know that like meant like he got it in a way
Yeah.
like and I remember that I was very sad like when Macho Man died. Like I was
Yeah.
like genuinely like that was fucked up to me.
Yeah.
I felt like that's like the one wrestler death that like really hit me. I remember I was at the original All In
Yeah.
in Chicago, and I went there with shout out Justin Morissette, who's like he's a Canadian sports guy.
Yeah.
Good Twitter poster. Me and my buddy Emerson went there, and I think he got Emerson tickets, and I got to kind of tag along. We were like
Nice.
fourth row, and I met him, and he was great. And I remember that in All In, one of the matches was Jay Lethal versus Flip Gordon,
Yeah.
and Jay Lethal was doing the Black Machismo gimmick, right? It's like so he
Yeah.
came out as like Macho Man, and part of the whole match was like when Jay's beating his ass, Flip gets up and he does the you like he hulks up,
Yeah.
but then Jay Lethal still wins. And I remember being there and I was like, the thing about this that I appreciate is that like Macho Man never beat Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And I was always like, now granted, I was a Hulk Hogan fan early, but like later on, when I got to understand wrestling, I was like Macho Man Randy Savage is like my favorite wrestler. And he never beat Hulk Hogan in a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
And so me, I'm kind of shit posting a little bit, but I was like, Jay Lethal beat Flip Gordon in a way, and Lanny Poffo walked him out. I was like, Macho Man finally beat Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
because Flip Gordon hulked up and he still lost. So I was like, finally, Macho Man beats Hulk Hogan. And I remember that Justin did a podcast and he said that to his co-host. He was like, my buddy Brent was like saying at All In, he's like, I'm so glad that Macho Man finally beat Hulk Hogan. And his co-host was like, yeah, that's fucking stupid. I don't know what that means. But I was like, respect to Justin because he knows where I was coming
Yeah.
from emotionally.
If
That
you
I was
know,
like,
you know.
if you know, you know,
Yeah.
man. I
Randy.
remember that really
Randy,
early.
it's your brother Lanny.
It's your brother Lanny, Randy. Like I remember watching Nitro, and I forget did Macho Man beat Sting for the WCW title?
Yeah,
But
when he
like,
was Jacked Macho Man, I think.
yeah, it was late stage Macho Man, but like he won the WCW title. This was like in the NWA or whatever, and like he won it at I think like Road Wild or some shit
Yeah.
on Sunday. And I remember watching that pay-per-view. My buddy David Tenorio, and again, I'm doxing people, but we would go to his house. This was like this one guy in my hometown who like his family bought every fucking pay-per-view. So I watched
Yeah.
every pay-per-view back then.
Dope.
And I was so fucking happy that Macho Man won the belt. And then the next day on Nitro, it was like Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan, and fucking Hulk beat him. And I was like, I cried, man. Like as like a 12-year-old, I was like, this motherfucker can just never beat Hulk Hogan, and
Yeah,
it
dude.
sucks.
You know, like, okay, when Hulk Hogan turned, because I was such a big Hulk Hogan fan in WCW,
Yeah,
because, like, that's the first time, like, we get to see Hulk Hogan live and in person, because otherwise we're watching his tapes.
right.
But in WCW, like, American man.
Yes.
Like, that's the Hulk Hogan that's like burned in my brain. And when he
Uh,
turned to join like Razor and Diesel, I I wrote
Yeah.
traitor on my little Hulk Hogan poster. I
Oh,
I
you
said,
did?
yeah, because he turned his back on me, dude. He
I
really
already
turned his
knew he
back
was
on me.
the snake in the grass at that
Yeah,
point, you know?
like him just turning, and like that really affected me, and I was like, still
Yeah.
here. And then later on, Macho Man joins the NWO. I'm like, damn it.
That was weird. It was
Yeah.
weird.
And then
Yeah.
after now, I gotta rely on Lex Luger, made in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll ride with Lex Luger. He wins, and then he loses the belt at freaking Hog Wild to freaking Hulk
Exactly.
Hogan, and you're
Yeah.
just like, ah, man,
That shit sucked, man. Then he joins the Wolfpack. I was a big
yeah.
Wolfpack guy.
I like the
I had
Wolfpack.
that red and black.
Yeah, I also had a red and
I was
black
a big I
Wolfpack.
was a big sexy fan, you
Hey,
know.
hey, brother, big
Big red
sexy the
wine
feds.
drinker,
You know,
respect, you know.
I I have my Napa cab. You know,
Loves a good Pinot, you know.
yeah, gotta fill up my 1099.
Shout out to Kevin Nash, man. Like real shit. Like he
yeah,
goes fucking like lib mode on fucking Twitter. He's so good. I
he's
love
so
when he
good.
gets like angry about that shit.
Yeah,
That
cause
motherfucker got that. He got that fucking like Screen Actors Guild union shit, and he's lived for life now. It's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm never going back, man.
Yeah,
It's good to be treated like a human being.
exactly.
Yeah, because like I feel, I was forgetting to talk about. I feel like if wrestlers did unionize, and they saw like all these benefits that go to it,
Yeah,
they'd all just be like, why haven't we been doing this? Because like wrestling is built on paranoia, trying to keep your spot and trying to make the bosses happy because they kind of have you brainwashed.
right.
That's kind of why also I'm like when I see like Bloodline and like they're kind of like all doing their own thing
Hmm.
and like they get the ability to do that because of their status in the company and brother hookup from like Big Cousin Rock and like
Right.
I think I wish that more guys got to call their shots like that and like got to feel comfortable like they're not going to just like get forgotten, get left on the
Right.
wayside and like
Yeah.
it, it would be cool if like that would have happened for more people, but like it's not happening. It will never happen
No.
because wrestlers are one, they're too stupid. Two,
Hmm.
all the people that run them love having this power over them because they get to like I even speaking about this like because like Tony Khan also like they're saying oh they're employees but who's really an employee at AEW and like yeah I'm just thinking like so many guys are they're just so paranoid about their spots and like where it goes in that
Yeah.
they're all just gonna be costing each other. But like if they just thought about it and they work enough on TV and then like some guys do enough acting work to get into SAG because I think Cody's also in SAG.
Hmm.
And like I know Zelina's in SAG because she did that whole like thing. I know Ryan Nemeth is in SAG.
Yeah.
I'll ask you about Ryan Nemeth in a little bit, but like
Okay.
it's just like when it's just like like because I'm a big union man. You see my shirt
Yeah.
right now. You saw my shirt earlier. It's like it's a union shirt because I stand with unions. We deserve people deserve to be treated like human beings, not just
Absolutely.
cogs in the machine. Because when
United we bargain, divided we beg.
yeah, and like I
Yeah.
I always think like wrestlers are always the ones that are in their own way, and
Absolutely.
it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
But
And it should be like now is a time where they should do it, right? Like Vince
yeah,
is gone, like in WWE, where it's
yeah,
like you have that, you have like in WWE you have Hunter, and in AEW you have Tony, and it's
yeah,
like now is a time like where the kind of historical like the historical kind of what's the word? Sorry, I'm blanking on it. But like the hierarchy. That's what like
yeah.
it's shaken up right now. Like where now is actually the
Because
time that wrestlers like
yeah.
should get together and be like unionize, you
C-
know?
I don't know if they
But
have the fighters union yet for UFC. I'm not sure
they
yet because
don't. They
they
don't.
don't. But like, it's just like when I look at those UFC contracts and how like little guys are paid now.
It's predatory. Yeah.
Yeah, even compared to like 10 years ago. 10 years ago,
Mhm.
guys, and like I know guys that fought under Fertitta brothers, and they said like they would go home and like Lorenzo would stuff like 100K in their jacket and just say don't think about it.
Right. Yeah.
And like that's not happening now.
Yeah.
And
No. Yeah, now it's over. Now it's like it's purely corporate, and they don't do that. And it's
Yeah,
like that's the problem is like when they could have done it was like you had Lorenzo's slipping 100K in your pocket or whatever. Like, great job, buddy. Don't talk about it.
yeah,
But it's like that's the shit where it's like that instant gratification. It's like you got to let that go because like but that's the problem with like one like with individualized sports where it's like it's only based off like which it isn't individualized because like you saw your team, your coaches, whatever,
yeah,
like you're the fighter, and it's just very easy to be like I'm the best in the fucking world because you have to have that idea, like you have to believe that for yourself to like reach those levels where it's like, but they prey on that. Like they pray that you will have no solidarity because
yeah,
like you think you're special and you have to think you're special because if you don't, you're never gonna like break your mind enough to like get to that next level. But it's like boxing did it, like, with the Ali Act and shit, and it's like,
yeah,
you've gotta break away from that and just be like, "You were once that motherfucker who was clawing his way up, and you
yeah,
deserved better then, and you deserve better now, but so does everybody else,"
yeah.
you know?
And hearing that TKO is trying to argue against the Ali Act,
Yeah.
that's fucking
Yeah, they're trying to
disturbing,
break
man.
it. Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. That's the next thing to go.
that's how you keep people alive in this sport. That's how you keep people
Yeah.
like getting paid. That's like, it's
We
disturbing.
see now, like, I just saw, like, Sabu just fucking die, he just passed away, rest in peace to Sabu, but,
Yeah.
like, they're doing a GoFundMe for his fucking funeral expenses and shit, and it's like, this is one of the most influential guys in
Why?
wrestling.
Why is Tony or freaking Triple H not saying, I got
Right.
this.
We got it.
We
It's
got it.
over.
Like,
Yeah,
cause
like,
like
don't worry about it. We got it.
WWE owns his and like they own his whole
Right.
legacy
Yeah.
with like ECW
Yep.
whatever. They own the majority of like his legacy. So
Yeah.
why aren't they like just saying, we got it. We don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's or like even Tony. Tony's a fucking billionaire. Like
Right.
throwing 40K at this is like nothing. He makes that wiping his ass. But
Yep.
like it's just like you don't get that kind of respect. You don't get that taken care of. Like if I die, I know like my insurance will kick in because
Sure.
of that. My wife gets 40K for the funeral. Cool.
Yeah.
That covers like a lot of stuff. And then it's just
Yeah.
like, oh man. Like when I heard that story, like the story that they tell, right? He's saying
Mm.
like his knees were shot, his feet were bleeding, and he couldn't like get out of bed. So
Yeah.
they drugged him up so he can have that match. People
Yeah.
were like trying to like I what I was saying was like he should have never wrestled. I'm not saying the match killed him. Whatever
No.
killed him killed.
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you my last two questions.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say like it's 9:30 my time or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
9:40, so I probably
yeah,
need to wrap it soon.
yeah,
Happy to do if you want a part two, I'll do it, but I
yeah,
do need to end it for the night.
yeah. So my question is, what's your favorite dessert?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Are we going right
yeah,
now? Are
yeah,
we
yeah,
live?
yeah.
Okay.
We're live,
Sorry.
pal.
All right, we're live, pal. My favorite dessert. Probably so like I have two. There's like a tres leches if it's really good.
Hmm.
Um, actually no, three. Sorry. I'm a dumbass. Either tres leches or a very good carrot cake.
Okay.
But there's like a very specific couple of places like in Houston where like the carrot cake is like really moist and they use like a fucking cream cheese icing
Hmm.
that I'm like, that's the shit. Shout out to Underbelly. But if not that, I love like an apple crisp. Like I
Ooh,
love like a not an apple pie, although I love an apple in a cup and it's really hot, like with like the crumble on top, and it's
that's
like the
nice.
the baked apple in there. That's what I love. Yeah, those are
And
my three favorites.
oh man, that's good. And then, man, I want to thank you for coming on. It's been a real pleasure.
Anytime, brother.
We gotta do it again. Um,
Anytime.
so what do you want your rainbow to say?
My rainbow. I don't know if I'm gonna get like a good like powerful statement, but it's just like I guess to give the sentiment instead of like an actual like nice sentence, it would just be like we're all gonna die one day, so like have fun and enjoy other people. Um
Yeah,
that is just like just like have fun, man. Just like but like have fun with other people. Like all we have is other people and our interactions with them. And so just enjoy that,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, man. It's been great to hook up with you, man, and just like chop it up and get all this out there and just like and
Absolutely.
just breathe and just let it all out. Keep posting through it. Keep posting through it.
Absolutely. Keep posting through it. Never not post.
Yeah,
Never stop
yeah,
posting. Always post through it.
yeah. I always try to like have this era of like, everybody always assumes that I'm mean for some weird reason,
Mhm.
but I don't think I'm mean.
No,
No. Uh,
I would
I
say no. You're a sweet boy. You are a posting spirit, and the world is better with energy like yours in it, man.
Yeah, hey man, I need your energy too. Throw up the energy like we're giving it to Goku. But like
Oh yeah,
I just want to like say thank you again, man. It's been a pleasure, and I will definitely be keeping you because that's what we do. And
always.
yeah, man, thank you so much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, man. Have a good night, Doc.
you too, man.
Oh yeah.